Hello guys and welcome to the Eastern European DPC League. We're here with the lower division watching IPG versus VPP. For some reason we started late. Sorry about that guys. They drafted, yeah, it was just really fast. So we apologize for that slow start. We're going to get now into the draft immediately as IPG goes for an incredible team fighting lineup. By the way, for people that don't know, IPG currently technically dropped from their sponsor, I guess. They're left. It's kind of hard to know. So they're officially Team Tequila. And obviously for you guys it doesn't matter because they're in the league, so they're going to use the same name. But what matters is that they're not going to be playing with Antoha anymore. And Koval is now officially in the team as their position 5. So that's going to change things around a bit, hopefully. Let's see if they can have better results with this Koval.
Yeah, we're going to have to see how they can get underway now, as we'll be taking a look at our drafts. Already kind of half settled here in VPP. So far, so good for them. Not only do they have that Brewmaster in, it looks like either the 5 or the 3. Likely the 3, I think, is where you'd prefer to run him if you can. But they've got the Ursa for the Phoenix.
This game, you kind of need him as a 5, though.
You've got the Tidehunter versus the Ursa as well, which is going to be an easy lane for him. Looks like to be a Morphlane mid to me, then, so far.
Yeah, quite greedy of VP.Prodigy's side, whereas IPG are looking like something here has to be a core, so it must be the Grimstroke that's a core, interestingly enough, or a Phoenix in the offlane Tide Maid or something like that. You know, like it's whatever it is though. With these 4 heroes, since 2 of them are cores, you know that the lineup is gonna be fast for IPG. You know they're gonna be playing a relatively quick game to punish your Morphling as well. So I don't know if I absolutely love this pickup of Morphling Ursa as a dual carry. I think with this, you definitely need to play Brewmaster 5, because Brewmaster 3 is going to struggle too much in the lane, and you pick up something else that can help out. Because Brewmaster 5 at least is decent at creating tempo for you. I don't know. I'm not loving the lineup for VP. I think they can be punished for their over-greed.
It doesn't really, it feels like IPG that, I get what you're saying and I completely agree because, like, for example, if it's a Grimstroke mid, right, you're going to be pretty
Super fast
on the mid. But Tide, I feel like he's useful for a fast draft because he's just tanky. You put him out in front. Okay, I'll accept that. Phoenix Clockwork, I don't really see it, though.
Clockwork is incredibly fast. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I don't know.
He ganks immediately. It's not about... No, sorry. Let me reiterate. It's not about whether you see it or not. It's just a fact. The hero is useful for the first.
That's fine. I get that. I just think I don't really like the Phoenix with this quote-unquote fast draft, nor do I like the Tidehunter for the ultis, because VPP, like, they're really great at getting pickoffs right now, right? Even onto the Tidehunter. Like, they could realistically kill the Tidehunter unless he gets, like, really lucky with all the dispels on the Kraken, or not lucky, but you know what I mean, right? I don't know. I don't know if it's all in for IPG right now, like you may think it is.
Well, it's not all in at all. But fast draft, don't get it wrong. Fast draft does not mean death ball. That's a confusion a lot of people get. It's not an early game beat you. They're not having any pushers here. It's not a death ball draft. It's a fast draft in the sense that you're going to play the early mid game with your superior team fight. You can have much better team fight enemy team. Your 5-on-5 is a bit stronger, so you can force 5-on-5 earlier. And now you can either have 2 choices. You either pick a carry that has a bit of push and nice laning, like Troll, for example, to bring this more into like the mid game strat, or a really hard carry, like say Anti-Major Phantom Lancer, which allows you to play Forward Light 1. It depends. Fast doesn't mean Death Ball, though.
I don't think it's that good, though, versus VPP's heroes here, to be honest.
Why?
I think right now you're incredibly, like, you have good team fight if you have Phoenix and Ravage. You need both of them, right? Although, I mean, come on, you've got Ursa and Morphlane. If there's no Ravage to at least threaten them away from a Supernova, there's no chance.
No, you don't think so? Cogs
no.
plus Soulbind?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, I disagree with that. I think those two ultimates can go separately.
No, not for the Morphlane especially. Cogs maybe against the Ursa Warrior, but even then, that's, I think, a little bit hopeful. You're going to need Tidehunter to have a Blink Dagger or have Phoenix initiate on top of the Tidehunter.
Because you're going to go, if it's Grimstroke core, it's going to be Neeblade Grimstroke for sure as well. So you have a couple of ways to deal with it.
Yeah, but like 25 minutes in.
Well, I mean, ideally he's not going to farm his D-Blade so late.
I don't think that's that they're that concerned about it, to be honest, for VPP. I get what you're saying. I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. I'm willing to be proved wrong as always, and I kind of would prefer the Grimstroke to be the 5 here, and it.
No, it's not.
It's the mid Grimstroke, okay. So Rari, carry Weaver, Ladonna 4, Koval on the Phoenix, and Supernova there. Okay.
It's pretty solid, actually. It's a really solid team fight draft. Of course, the Weaver is a bit more of a... Like, unlike the Troll, yeah, you do have a great laning, but you'd like the push. So as Weaver, you kind of want to win by choking the enemy team out. You don't have much of an option of just, like, taking this game quickly. But the great thing about Weaver is you have really good core-to-core matches against Ursa and Morphling, so it's not bad in that sense. I'm siding with IPG. I think the draft is really solid. I think you have a fast draft with strong lanes and a better mid game. But VP.Prodigy, they're looking like they have a really secure mid to late game win condition with the Ursa Morphling. You have a dual win condition. The lane and the Morphling can matter a lot, of course. I don't know how the matchup goes with Grimstroke, if I'm perfectly honest with you. And of course, Darkseer does boost Ursa's early game a lot. It's gonna be a game where Ursa might not go for Battle Fury, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't really see a case for it. I think you kind of, like, it's this weird thing where you kind of want single target for the Weaver, but then Weaver might just build like a Lincoln Sphere, and then it's like, well, now what do we do? But with the Darkseer, they're able to provide a little bit of extra control, a Shaman as well. You've got plenty of ways of actually popping a Lincoln without too much of a concern. Even Morphling can do it with an Adaptive Strike if he's not going for the shotgun build. I don't know. I for some reason, I just side with this VPP lineup. I'm not. Maybe I have not seen a Grimstroke mid in action, but that has impressed me. But this could be the one out from Askel. He's a strong mid laner for sure for the team. We'll see what they can tend towards here as we get underway with game number 1. I just think, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't like it. So, something says that I can't quite support this IPG lineup. I'm just favoring VPP in this game number 1.
All right. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not very convinced by your lack of any argument, so I'm not gonna side with you there.
Well,
but,
that's
yeah.
good. I wasn't trying to convince you.
I'm not really sure what a gut feeling is gonna give me, but okay.
I don't know. It's just like
if you were really good, I would allow you to do those kind of predictions, but you're not, dude. With all due respect, you know, if you were a pro player, I'd be like, okay,
yeah,
I'm
sure.
not seeing it, but,
Okay, yeah, sure.
I feel like your lack of justification shows that you just. It's not a great sign.
Well, sure, yeah, I just don't like the draft. That's why I'm still kind of unconfident about
but
it.
give me a reasoning, like one reason. You haven't given me a single one.
I have. I think they're super cooldown reliant on IPG with their team fight if they want to push early, which they should obviously with the Grimstroke mid, right?
But
well, not
why
push
why do you
early.
assume they want to push early though?
Well, because they need to take space away from Morphling Ursa, otherwise the VPP are going to get 2 farms too fast for them.
What if you just dive them in triangles and jungles?
So you do need to push.
Well, no, you can just dive them. You don't need to push.
Well, sure, but isn't that a lot more dangerous when you have someone like a Darkseer and a Brewmaster who can TP to tier 1s and counter-initiate on your backline super easily?
Oh, you say super easily.
Well, I mean, it is for these heroes, right?
It's a Brewmaster.
Brewmaster 5, right? Celebrity can just vacuum on in and surge in.
I'm very sold on your analysis. Because the idea of pushing is not something that IPG is going to do. They're going to force fights near towers, and then once you try to fight them in the tower, they're going to beat you by 5-on-5s. And then when they're done with that, they're going to continue to farm. That's the idea anyway, as well, the draft. I mean, you're not wrong, but you're like, hey, you know this lineup is as weakness is X? And like, yeah, that's the point of lineup. Well, it has that weakness. Well,
yeah, I'm just saying, I don't think Ursa is going to be too... Like, especially if he doesn't go for Battle Fury this game, I don't think he's going to be too concerned with just trying to maximize his farm, right? I think the Morphling's going to be more of your late game win condition here.
Seem to want to go for Battle Fury.
Is it queued up?
Yeah,
it is.
The Ring of Health. We'll see, though. I also agree that we shouldn't go for the Battle Fury.
I don't think that's a good decision here. I mean, maybe they just want to play around this team fight. I agree the earlier, like, level 6 team fight from IPG is really strong. There's no denying that. But I just... Also, this lane is seemingly very weak, isn't it?
Well... Not that weak. It depends on what they run here as the second support. If it's Phoenix, yes. If it's the Clockwork, no.
Let's see what they want to go. They're going to try for
Ladon
first
is
blood.
technically the 4. I think you want to run the Clockwork this bottom, though. That would be much easier. Yeah, there we go. Because Clockwork's really good against Darkseer. I'm wondering if Ladon will be playing 5 then, now that the lineup has changed.
Does seem like they've made that change here. Force Major doing some creep pull shenanigan with boots. Ladon's going to be able to punish him a little bit with this one. Give him an Ion Shell. Nope, no mana here, so they're just going to share the love a little bit. Battery Assault.
Yeah, it's tough against the Clockwork, but the Shaman at least can trade with him more or less nicely. However, Clockwork's really good against the bottom matchup, and Weaver should have no trouble in that bottom lane. That's why you pick a Weaver anyway. Top similarly, the lane should go easily for... I mean, I can't imagine the Ursa doing too much with a Phoenix in the lane. If Ursa goes for overpower build, maybe, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
No, yeah, he's not going to want to do that, especially if he's going to be building a Battle Fury. He does not want that skilled at all, basically. Ideally, anyway.
I mean, some Ursas nowadays are going for the overpower regardless of building Battle Fury or not. Because Earthshock got nerfed, so a lot of people are starting to build a bit more. Or like, get to like 2 points and put 1 point in Earthshock. It depends. But in this lane, yeah, there we go. Yeah, see, overpower because you want to deal with Phoenix.
There's also no Fire
doesn't
Spirits.
matter, though.
Fighting's a little bit dangerous right now, but Supernova too tanky, even just with the Anchor Smash.
It's
and
only
now
level
Gush
1 Fury
2.
swipes. It's more that than anything. Level 1 is really bad. Level 2 doubles your damage. So level 2 is actually like a really, really useful.
Healing Salve cancel as well. They saw him pop it underneath the ward. They will do that. Nice start then for IPG. How's this mid lane going? So far, pretty good for Asgold as well. 12-2 compared to 11-1.
Yeah. The matchup I would usually side with Grimstroke because Morphling tends to struggle against heroes with burst magical damage, right? But of course, the Grimstroke has a worse attack animation, so I can only, and the projectile's kind of slow. So I can imagine that because of that, Morphling has a slight lead as the game progresses and you have more levels to shift. But genuinely, I have no clue about this matchup. I've never seen this matchup.
I think it's strong if you can get the Clockwork to rotate in, but I feel like you can say that about any mid lane matchup here. Because I don't think
it's a really good mid lane.
Like, oh, they're gonna get a kill down bottom. I just don't see how you can. Speaking of Clockwork, Ladon popping off already. I just don't see how you can realistically get a kill onto the Morph lane with just a Clock and a Grimstroke, for example. Though you just need a stun or a silence or something, right, to stop the attribute shift. Once it's level 3, even that's more than good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Great burst damage, especially when you max a Stroke of Fate, along with a nice Inkswell, but you're going to see the Inkswell coming. And Morphlane, he just attacks too fast. He's going to get rid of the Phantom way too quickly.
No, Phantom is definitely not a tool against the Morphling. That's partially why you need the E-Blade so quick this game, though, because that's going to secure your Phantom actually dealing the rend damage, which is the big source of damage in the Phantom, and of course securing the egg as well. I still imagine that Grimstroke with the idea of this lane, though, is this, okay, I have a Morphling mid. Even if I give him the most space in the world, I mean, it's going to be a problem because it's a Morphling, but I can still deal with him in the mid game with my faster lineup, so we deal with that.
I wonder if you can just like build a Manta style and not worry about it then for Morphling.
You can, but he's going for E-Blade this game.
He is. Seems like it.
I mean, the thing is, even if you go for the Manta style, then you lose one Dispel, right? Like either the Fire Spirits is what you dispel, or then the E-Blade, or the Ghost, or whatever it is. But that's why the E-Blade Grimstroke works so well. Because you can time those dispels very effectively. Bottom, Ladon dies, but in the top lane, Brewmaster?
No, he's going to TP. He had that one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only level 2 Fire Spirits. And the Brews are quite tanky here early on, this Panda. The curse dive and the right click's not enough. Notice, though.
What is Notice doing?
He's in a bit of trouble here. He's going to die, I think.
There's no more spirits, but the damage is going to be sufficient. Last anchor smash? Yeah, okay. Weird jump there. Kind of greedy, thinking, oh, my lane is going really badly, and it is. And I guess he tried to recover with that.
Yeah, that's weird, though. The one range grip is not really going to make that much of a difference. And when he TP's back, Antoha is... Or sorry, not Antoha here. DSA, he's not getting any experience either in the meanwhile, because he tried to... Well, he did TP on home. So Ursa's going to TP back now. What was in his courier here? A Ring of Health? Okay, so I guess he thought he would have the Ring of Health there to try and keep him alive. Now that he does have that, the lane gets slightly easier versus the Phoenix, but getting CS is still a bit of a dangerous proposition here whenever the Fire Spirits are going to be active.
Yep. The Morphling is getting close to his level 6 now, though, which is usually a time when you start to get me... Like, some Morphlings like to go for the early rotation. Fourth Major dies in the bottom lane. And you go for, like, a quick level 6 early rotation. I don't know if this is going to work this game. You don't have the easiest gankable lanes, because bottom Weaver is impossible, and Tidehunter is impossible kind of as well.
Yeah,
so he's just best to stay in lane and play super static.
It's pretty impossible, right? I mean, it looks like maybe they're trying for level 2 Shackles here pretty early on. Yep. So maybe you've got a chance, but I think a lot of things have to go right. That's a big investment for the Morphlane.
Yeah, it's much better to just stay in lane, right?
I agree.
And continue to farm. But Grimstroke has no need to leave this lane either, because he doesn't feel the necessity to gank.
And he prefers to farm in the lane as well, especially because he farms for the most part with Stroke of Fate. Stop lane, again, they're going for Notice, just really harassing him. Ring of Health, though, is going to keep him relatively tanky, as even Koval is going to take a little bit of damage now, but he'll be A-okay. That's Cinder Brew.
I'm assuming it's the Cinder Brew build completely, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's into the urn.
The way that you play the Brew 5 to have some utility, but he's not capable of really zoning out the Phoenix and the Tide. That's why I said it. They put the Phoenix up top, that lane is really weak, but in the end, they made the right choice here, RPG with the 2 supports. Rari just playing really aggressively.
They tried with the vacuum, but they're a minute late, or they're a bit late.
Rari was taking that into account when he timed. It's very smart, actually.
It was actually really close. He got level 6 because of the pull, because he got experience off of that mid-Shackles.
Yep.
So I don't want to call it lucky, because I'm sure he wouldn't have made that move if he had
because then he would have
considered that.
Shakushi'd away, though.
Yeah, of course.
Right, so then he always had a contingency plan in case it didn't work out.
Rotation coming bottom from Asgold. He's already gotten the max Stroke of Fate. Clockwork's a great Inkswell target here. He's going to move out a little bit early, but I think they want Celebrity. Can they get him? The Hex. He's going to try and make his way around. Nice job on the Shackles. Force Major not completing those. He's going to take the death in return.
There's another combo that you can do with Grimstroke, not just Clockwork, but also Weaver. Probably the best Inksol target in the game, honestly.
I think Riki's up there too.
Ricky and PA are
Ricky
up there
and PA, for sure.
Yeah. But I would say that Weaver is just next level, especially early, because like Ricky and PA need to commit to a kill, right, whenever they blink in. Or at least PA does. Ricky not so much.
Yeah.
But the Weaver doesn't need to do that whatsoever.
Well, he did there, right, because there was no time lapse. Of course, they knew they had that kill, but that's a pretty big commitment. I agree, if you got time lapse, you got a little bit of safety. But
but what you can do, though, is you Shikuchi in and you Shikuchi out in the same kind of Shikuchi, right? Whereas you're not that limited by the Inksol, because you can put the Inksol much beforehand. It just happened that there you put it halfway through the Shikuchi.
Oh, Panda, top lane, he's going to die.
No utility against
the pool.
Nothing you can do.
Might die here, though, yeah, because he's got no Icarus dive. He should ignite, and he will, thanks to the Earth Shock magic damage.
Yep, and that made the Cinder Brew kill him, so Caval loses his life.
Is that what it's called, ignite? What is it? What would you say?
Well, the Cinder Brew?
Yeah, right?
I mean, it gets ignited.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you can just call it Cinder Brew, I don't know. Ladon here mid lane, take advantage of the Clockwork. Good at the strike, though. That's a strength one to push him. Max strength one as well. And now the counter initiation by Laurel, using that extra movement speed from Inkswell to catch up to Ascold, and Ascold has been shackled to death and murdered, as Grimstroke mid cannot lose his life this easily. This gave a lot of advantage to VPP.
I did. It's a level 1 Sunray, so we cancels it because it's just going to tickle the Brewmaster, who, by the way, has the Urn and 2 charges now after the gank middle. Bot lane, Vacuum onto Rari as they try to kill him, but they're not going to get it. Oh, Rari even turning on Celebrity here.
I think he might be able to get a kill here. Do you want a Shikuchi? No.
Yeah.
You could have chased with Shikuchi and tried to kill, but there's no time left.
They saw the Shaman coming.
Right, that's why. That's why they want to play defensive.
Yeah.
The lack of time, of course, makes you much less
Yep.
willing to go for those kind of kills. At least you're murdering the Ursa and bothering him enough so that it's not an easy game for Noticed either. Especially because he's going for Battle Fury build. I feel like at this point you kind of justify not going for Battle Fury any longer, you know?
I kind of feel the same.
I'm starting to really fall behind.
I mean, I guess that's one way to get caught back up again, but I also feel like you've got a pretty mean skirmishing lineup, I think. Like, I think they're just really scared of the ultis, right? They're really scared of Supernova, and they're really scared of the Ravage as well. As DSA's not scared, he's going to run right into the 3 heroes.
Yeah, another kill for Supernova, who's also farming like crazy. And the bottom lane, Rari's also managed to have some really decent farm, similar with Grimstroke mid. Yes, he hasn't beat the Morphling, but he's still happy with what he's doing.
Oh, he's super happy. I mean, I think Falcon Blade is the premier item, to be honest, on a Weaver. It's so good. 1.8 mana regen to 10 damage. Hex? They're going to try, but that's going to trigger a TP out from Ladon immediately. He's going to cancel it, but just, you know, the threat was there, and they knew that they could probably turn that into a kill. Or maybe even 2 if they actually continued those shackles.
Also, the Boots of Travel choice by the Grimstroke is very, very solid, because that's going to help you...
Is it the Ghost Scepter already?
What?
On
the
it is.
Yeah, it is. So the Boots of Travel choice on Grimstroke is going to allow him to push out the lanes much more and prevent Laurel from creating the space. Because usually, Morphling that goes for the shotgun build immediately is supposed to be the kind of a space creation Morphling rather than your win condition. So it seems like Ursa's going to be playing the rest of win condition.
Yeah, I guess so, right?
But for this, you need much more map control. And
I don't mind. I don't mind, right? I think the Morphling's going to be able to farm an E-Blade faster than Morph can now pivot after, because he's going to finish the Maelstrom, right? 100%. Yeah. He's going to finish the Maelstrom, and then maybe he's going to be like, oh, there's already the Ghost Scepter. Maybe I should queue up the Slink-ins. He might be able to get the jump on him maybe once, maybe twice. Even that, those 2 kills could be enough for you or Ursa to get lots of space. It's kind of what I'm thinking anyway, if I'm the Morphling.
Yeah, I mean, the Weaver particularly, I guess, is probably your ideal kill here.
Exactly. I mean, he's the only one, right?
Well, the Grimstroke too.
Well, the Grimstroke is easy-ish, but with Boots of Travel, you know, catching him is a bit difficult, right? And everyone else is literally a strength hero, so it's a bit difficult.
If it wasn't for that infused raindrops, Morphling might have died. Dawn walks in.
Oh,
There's
nice
no
job.
Battle Roar, unfortunately.
The
He wanted to use that ultimate, couldn't in time. Ladon even catches up to Force Major. There's the power, the Clockwork Hookshot. Super powerful spell early mid-game. It's impossible to really outrun it. I mean, later is great as well against BKB carriers, but early mid is the best initiation.
It's always good. It's even the best late game sometimes with the Ags.
Yeah.
What do you got?
But the roles are different, right? Because right now you're the initiator, whereas in the late game the role is more of like the extra bit of catch for the BKB carried. Like it's a bit different the way that they run it. But I feel like right now it's time for EV to kind of run and avoid team fights as much as possible. But I don't know how you can create space for the Ursa.
If they can like kind of skirmish and get these ultis out, that would be ideal for them. Of course, much easier said than done. Yep. Especially with like the amount of catch you have, like you've said. But already here, Ursa, committing for the Battle Fury, hard to commit. I mean, there's not really much else you could turn the Ring into Health into that's useful this game, except for maybe a Hooded Defiance. Wouldn't be the it'd be a weird item for the Ursa, but wouldn't be like, you know,
Yeah.
that big of a question mark.
I think it'd be acceptable this game, but
Yeah.
I find that you're now committing fully to the Battle Fury.
Yeah.
Let's see if it works out. I mean, your lineup has cohesion because the Morphling is going for the Space Creation build, so it makes sense that Ursa's your win condition. Okay, sure. Now, you can't blame a team for trying something that's a bit different. I find that they're doing a pretty decent job, VP, of holding their ground right now. They haven't given too much space to IPG. Of course, also because IPG doesn't have huge pushing power, which is the reason why they don't want to play this as Deathball, and they just kind of try to force fights right now.
Morphling, he's halfway now to the Eagle Song, just a little bit more, so he's making good progress here, just pushing out the wave whenever Supernova will land on its tower. He can't kill Supernova, of course. That's just about an impossible kill for him. But again, slowing down the push, right? Because really the creep only hit the tower a couple of times. Supernova smacks it 3-4 times, and there's the lane.
Yeah. And you need the Weaver to kind of come online as soon as possible. Is Weaver going for Maelstrom build, I presume?
Yeah, he finished it up already, yeah.
That's what I thought. And then now he has...
Power treads.
No, my question is, with your next big item, are you going to go for Lincolns to deal with a shotgun, or are you going to go for Desolator to deal more damage? DSA. Okay, just dying alone. He can't Primal Split in the middle of Battery Assault, so he just knows that doesn't mean try. Ravage to try to save Ladon. Not going to be good enough. Now you wasted the Ravage. Rari is coming in. Shackle's going to really bother them. Rari deals a fair amount of damage to Morphling just with Shukuchi, but someone needs to save him. And that Hex surprised him. He was expecting such a high-level Hex and to get murdered so easily. And now VPP are taking this team fight for a run. That Inkswell is going to work better on the Morphling than anyone else here. The stun, at least helping out with Supernova as well, stunning them out, but Supernova, the hero this time, is still in trouble, and with the other strike, they bring him back and kill him off.
Celebrity's trapped inside. Oh, just kidding. He's got... How did he get out?
Sorry, just gives you face.
Yeah, removes unit collision. Today I learned. You know, I've got like 100 games on Darkseer. Didn't even know that. That shows how smart I am. A big problem there for IPG. You use all the big ultis. Who do you kill? Just the position 5 Brewmaster. That is not worth it at all. And now, really...
That was a really bad team fight in general.
Yeah, Ursa...
That choice by Weaver to join towards the end was like, wow.
Well, towards the start, right?
Well, yeah, towards the end of the first engagement. I saw like 3 different engagements there. And toward the end of the first one, Weaver joins in, and I was just like, okay. If you went for Lincolns, sure, you can afford something like that, but you didn't go for Lincolns.
Oh, wow, there's E-Blade already, but Laurel! Oh, no, the
cameras want to watch Laurel die.
Nah, Laurel's going to live here. He's able to dismiss of that...
the camera could come back.
Of the Phantom's Embrace super easily, but nearly just one-shotting the Grimstroke there, so a little bit of concern maybe for Askold, who's still a bit further away. His Force Major will die top lane. That's going to be a hook shot onto him. They're going to look to turn. Koval hoping to try and TP. I don't believe he's going to be able to live. He is. Just barely, though.
Yeah, the slow by the Fire Spirit was super useful there to guarantee his victory. But now VP has finally come online with the Morphling. Now you need a way to deal with the Morphling. I'm surprised that nobody... Is Phoenix going for Vessel?
Yep, he is.
Okay. I was going to say. Someone needs to go for Vessel to deal with
They've gotten the tier 1 as well, but it's cost them. It's really cost them here.
DSA has the ultimate right now, but he doesn't have the mana. There we go. Finally came Primal Split. That triggers a Cinder Brew. Everything is dispelled. Supernova with the Hood of Defiance. Survives a fair amount of damage. Ladon puts the cogs in the middle just to annoy them. He's stuck in the cogs. Oh no.
He's dead.
Oh no, Ladon. They killed the Morphling though! What a surprise stroke of fate.
Oh yeah.
He got hit by a bunch of creeps. Now they timed the Inkswell perfectly, and DSA also falls. Well, that's a win if I've ever seen one. IPG just got a freebie there.
They really did. Yeah, that's going to be a big death there. Kind of. It was 2 stroke of fates. I can't believe he was max agi the whole time. Especially after the first one did 500 damage to him.
I'm not really sure if he saw the first one.
Well, I mean, when I see half of my HP pool missing all of a sudden, I usually
he
go...
was looking at his own HP pool. I don't know, like seriously.
As a Morphling? I mean, I don't play Morphling, so... Kind of seems like...
might be thinking that, I can get a kill, what can kill me, doesn't see the first one. I'm not sure.
Maybe it's one of those things that becomes second nature when you play the hero like that. Like when you armlet toggle, you're just like, all right, now I know I can do this, now I know I can do this, perhaps.
I'm not sure, dude. I'm grasping at straws just to justify that play because that was very weird and you really just gave him a freebie.
Yep.
SNY is the build for Rari as well, which is, I'm assuming, with Dragonlance that's coming on the courier now.
Well, we'll take a look here. It's about to be delivered. The suspense, building it.
Oh, it's just a play of blocker. Okay, sadness. So it's just full mid-game build with SNY though. No idea for this later or Lincolns. A lot of calm plays by Rari. I don't know how calm you can play this game though, because Morphling is online. And the Ursa already has Battle Fury. He's going to start to outfarm the Weaver.
He's not doing too badly at a job either. Going for the BKB. That's going to put a severe hindrance here in the strength of the team fight for IPG. Like, a really, really big one. Because you got hook shot, but and Cogs, which are nice, but Ursa can get himself outside of Cogs with her shock. So it's only going to burn maybe 4, maybe 5 seconds of the BKB. If you play perfectly around with the Cogs and Supernova, that still could win you a fight, but that's so much pressure you're putting onto Ladon right there. We'll see. Maybe he can get it done. He's a really impressive Clockwork player. I will say that.
That is very true. He is a very good Clockwork player. It's a pretty decent Clockwork game as well, although he did mess up with the Cogs placement there last fight.
Yeah, it happens. But he got a really great Cogs here at least. That prevents the Supernova from getting blown up and prevents the team fight from going any worse for them. Supernova. He's got Sanja and now already the full Heaven's Halberd on the way. So 5-second disarm. Very nice for the Morphling, but right now the danger, yes, it's always the right clicks on the Morphling, but the immediate danger is the E-Blade, right?
What's tightest fight against, it's really the Weaver that's going to struggle against.
Exactly.
Hence why I still think the Lincoln's a good consideration. It also gives you stats, like it's not like a bad
No,
item.
yeah, it's got an ultimate orb, it's great. Oh, they scout Koval?
He still has Supernova, so there's no way you can die. The Dawn comes in, and there we go. Just start to farm the snakes instead, give some farm to the supports, pretty useful. Honestly, because you kind of want a bit of farm in the Clockwork and the Phoenix, particularly the Phoenix escape the Clockwork. Yep, that's about to happen at one point.
You actually lose vision, by the way,
yeah,
on
you
the
do.
Phoenix. Yeah.
Lara's like, where's the bird? We still have Supernova again. He turns into the Phoenix. We have one last Spirit, doesn't use it in time.
All right.
Just dies.
They've
Supernova
also lost Supernova,
dies.
by the way.
Why was he there?
I'm not sure.
You took the tier 1, dude. You're not invading the jungle with him alone.
Oh, they got what? They got Laurel. Unbelievable. What did they catch him with this time?
Was it just the Shikuchi?
It was literally Sakuchi.
Oh my goodness. He didn't actually shift in time. Oof. Alright, don't forget about the Weaver. Weaver is incredibly good at dealing with Morphling because he's fast and can be anywhere on the map.
He is fast and very sneaky, and that is what Morphling does not like. Morphling he's like the British. He wants like a telegram before every battle, you know?
Yeah, he's also the king of water.
He also is the king of water, but the king of ion shells is celebrity. He's got 2 of them now. He's got the eggs. That's actually super useful for the Morphling who keeps dying on very low HP.
That's true, actually.
I mean, completely right. I mean,
what do you do? So you wait for Agi. He goes full Agi. You give him ion shell, and then he goes. You can put some into strength.
I think it's just because it doesn't give you any strength, right? It just gives you just plus 350 to whatever you have.
Oh right. Oh, it's right.
So it's just always nice to have, right?
That's true. Just want to be full HP. That's it. It's not a heal, by the way.
No, it's not.
So you don't get 350 HP. You stay with the same percentage HP. So if you get it on full HP, that's the ideal situation.
It is. They're going to head into Roshan now. Look for this Aegis. That'll give a little bit more space and time for our Weaver. We also have now the Spirit Vessel finished up. Fantastic item here versus our Morphling. See here is right now VP either they do not know or they have no intentions of contesting Roshan. By the looks of what their map looks like, I think they're going to be as surprised as perhaps, well, I don't know, what's a big surprise?
Pikachu.
Pikachu. Is Pikachu surprising?
Yeah, like the Pikachu surprised face.
Ah, I like it. You usually don't reference the meme, so I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
I'm part of your generation. What are you guys called? ZZs?
ZZs. That's exactly right.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
Big fan of the ZZs, dude. I was talking to Gunnar the other day on his TikToks.
And
it was a great conversation.
Great conversation. Good to hear. Good to hear. You know, Gunnar always TikToking. And
he sent me a bunch of TikToks and Snapchats, and I was like, "Oh, Gunnar, you ZZ."
And then you were like, Gunnar, if you want to talk to me, you need a 1999 V-Bucks card.
You know, funny, because I'm actually just like 3 years older than him.
Oh, they're going to catch Lolo again. He's dead.
He's silenced for too long thanks to that Phantom. Does he have the E-Blade already, Ascold?
Ascold does have the
E-Blade.
He does,
but he didn't actually need to use it there.
He didn't even need to use it.
Well played.
I mean, they haven't needed an E-Blade for the first 3 kills they've gotten on the Morphling.
Now they go for the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, great ward
Hex,
here.
Again, very powerful. Force Major realizes that, yeah, if he shackled there, he was dead. There was no follow-up, and now IPG. They finally reached a window opportunity with the E-Blade on Ascold. Now they're actually in their strongest point of the game, whereas VPP, due to the Battle Fury timing on Ursa, they're a bit slower than usual, right? And Morphling with E-Blade is great in terms of potential, offensive potential, but you lack a lot of defensive potential that other items give you. So you are not the greatest at, say, split pushing or sustained damage or anything.
I will say they're strong until Morphling gets his BKB, and then they're
weaker.
And then it comes to teamfight execution, I would say.
I would still say that Weaver could deal with Morph relatively nicely because of the build that he went for. But I agree with you that BKB is going to be a huge turning point for VP.
Yeah, just because it kind of reduces Grimstroke to right clicks.
Exactly, right.
Which is-
At least against the Morphling. Grimstroke probably won't deal with the Ursa.
and the Ursa.
Supernova. Okay, I think he's dead.
They've lost Ladon.
We do have Ravage, though, I'm going to use
Good
it.
Supernova.
Used. And Supernova up in the air. Notice just walks up to the egg. Can he destroy it in time? No, apparently not. The Supernova will pop, and we still have Ravage on Supernova. God, that's so confusing. He's been Cyclone perpetually. He's not going to use it in the end. He's accepted his own death, I believe. They don't want to fight this any longer. Okay, they do. Using the Supernova towards the end. Immediately dispelled by the Cricket Shell from the Morphling.
Here's
Ursa's still
Rari.
chasing after him. Rari from behind, hoping to kill Force Major. Hey, does them, but Force Major is dead. And Rari now going for the much more valuable Morphling. Time lapses immediately. Haskell's also here. He soul binds the Darkseer alone. Going for DSA instead. Supports will die here. But that's it, apparently, until they hit the Morphling. With that silence plus the E-Blade, he can't take the Ghost away. Here's the combo.
He's full HP, though, and Notice is back. He's full HP as well. Koval, Icarus diving forward aggressively. Wants to kill on a Laurel, and he's going to find it. As Koval's still alive, so Audrey's going to jump
he just
in.
TP'd in the middle of the Sunray.
He did. They will get the first life. He's a little bit isolated here because we don't have a hook shot. Askel nearby. Oh, we did, but it's going to miss. Vacuum right back into the dust. Laurel nearby, as they will buy back now on DSA. Sorry, Laurel's still dead, rather.
Chikuchi.
But, yeah, we've got no Basher, no nothing here for the Ursa, just the BKB. Weird fights overall.
Pretty good for IPG.
It was. Laurel had waveform the whole time and could have waveformed to help hit the egg, but decided against it.
Yeah, I guess he thought he couldn't hit it.
But he still
Like he could've
walks
destroyed in
closer to it.
I'm not really sure what that happened. No, I didn't get the egg.
Or
quite
like he didn't try and waveform the Supernova stun or something like that.
No,
you know?
no, I understand. And also, as well, as soon as they kept fighting there, but completely underestimated the team fight of IPG. And the moment that you don't get your initial burst of shotgun, kill someone, Darkseer walls dropped, you don't get that.
To be fair, he got that on Ladon.
He did.
So it was a 4v5 to start off with, and honestly, the fight looks good.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that Ladon is the target you want to hit, though. With that. I would say it's Grimstroke.
Well, he's been real annoying in this game, hasn't he?
Yeah, I agree. But if you want to fight with Ravage and Supernova, you have to deal with Weaver.
Oh, a whole lot of thoughts. Ladon inside some cogs. Speaking of being annoying, he's got 4 staff too. He's totally fine. They're not killing him. He's baiting. Yep. But,
shot, nice, against Darkseer. They have cogs too. They should be able to push him back. Celebrity. Oh, the vacuum saves him, but not from the Sunray. Sunray deals way too much damage.
Yeah, and the E-Blade as well, murdering him. Again, they've got this rend damage here on the Phantom's Embrace. So
and the Sunray is now magical, so it actually gets boosted by E-Blade. So
it does.
Even though it was a nerf originally, it's a buff in this game.
It was a nerf originally, because that shit used to be pure.
Yeah,
back in my day. Yeah.
Back in my day.
That was...
I used to play Phoenix. You picked a strength core, you shuddered.
I really picked, like, the most OP cores, or supports back then. I was, like, early on the ET grind, back when Natural Order was the even stronger version. Pure damage for the Solar Beam, that was pure. Laurel here. Yeah, he's going to steal Sakuchi. They're not going to be able to catch him in time. My goodness, they nearly do. Up to the high ground. He's got a Phantom coming his way. But again, I think he's just going to be a little bit too fast for these guys to catch up to. Yep. This Phantom, by the way, I believe it stops chasing you after you get far enough.
Yeah, well, that also. There's a bunch of things, though.
Oh, yeah, he went invis.
Also, yeah, exactly.
So.
But it does stop chasing you if you get far enough, if you, like, blink quickly or whatever.
Yeah, or you, like, TP, and the Phantom's not going to chase you all the way to the fountain, obviously.
It's a bunch of weird interactions. It's not very consistent. They found a Morphling, by the way, in their own triangle. Yeah, it was still in Weaver form. Thank God he can turn into Weaver, honestly. Did they find him? They do.
No, that's not.
They don't just have vision of him, though, unfortunately. They did guess pretty correctly. They didn't have no stuns, though. Oh, they had hookshot on Clocker.
They had hookshot.
That's what they were looking for. Okay.
So he's not going to be able to find that. Aether Lens now for our Shaman means
pretty
he can
useful.
Now be more impactful in these fights, not ideally die immediately to the Weaver in these fights. Are we going to smoke? Not quite sure here. BKB, still 10 seconds for the Morphling, by the way. That's going to be freshly delivered after his excursion through the enemy jungle. They will smoke. They are not going to be fighting into an Aegis. That's been reclaimed. Right now, Roche up in 2 minutes, so they can reasonably take a fight here and then fight again into Roche if they need to. Scythe of Ice queued up for the Grimstroke after the Blink Dagger and the E-Blade timing. There's no blink, however, for Supernova, the Tidehunter. Yep. He's actually just gone for the Force Staff instead, just to keep that in the back of your mind for our viewers.
Yeah, the fact that he called himself Supernova is incredibly confusing.
Because sometimes he also will play position 3
Phoenix. And you go, Supernova, use Supernova, and you go, my goodness.
That's like when you name your Pokemon, like...
Pokemon?
No, like, if you name your Pokemon, like, Quick Attack, and it's like, Quick Attack, used Quick Attack.
Who does that? We're kind of like a sadistic person. Imagine naming your dog, like, Sit. That's awful. Don't laugh at that. That's animal cruelty.
That is kind of mean.
Okay, let's see. Hook shot ready by Ladon. Rari nearby. We have the Brewmaster using Promo Split a bit too early. You just want to wait this out.
Yeah, but I think they know where Supernova is.
Yeah, but he's near this tower, though. Yeah, you can cycle him all you want, dude. He's going to fly near his tower.
Can they find anyone else back here? I mean, if they can find Ladon, all right, that's a good start. He should be nuked down relatively quickly. Hook shot, though, used defensively. Stuns one on the way out as well, but now that's hook shot out of the fight. Not really the biggest ulti, but it's worth mentioning. Have we found the Phoenix? We have, but Force Major likely to die. Supernova combo, though. Ravage will stop him, but they've already lost the Phoenix. Notice as well, still very tanky. There's going to be a beautiful back wall combo. Ladon's now dead. The enrage from Notice is going to turn onto Supernova now, the hero. Tidehunter getting the E-Blade, but that's going to take him down faster as Morphling trying to run and chase after the Weaver, who will time-lapse and continue just farming some Mud Golems here. He's got an eye of Scotty, by the way.
Not in my nation.
These long team fights benefit, of course, IPG as much as possible because Weaver can take advantage of this, and they actually ended up having a relatively okay fight, you know? You lose 3 for 2.
Notice? What do you...
Notice? Okay. Gonna go for Weaver. The X-Wall is gonna burst down the Morphling, and Weaver sees the opportunity. He has Scotty. He can just kill Laurel at this rate. He's going for it. He's going for Laurel. The Supernova has been committed. Laurel can't fight this. He's gonna take down to the Egg and the help of the Weaver. That's gonna be Laurel dying. And they ended up losing, of course, the Grimstroke in the process, but kind of worth it overall. Koval sacrificed himself towards Notice. That's a dieback. This team fight ends up going the way of VPP. Not by too much, but yes, mainly because IPG plays this a bit too hastily.
Yeah, that was just like a... Like, both teams are like, do we fight? Do we not fight? Like...
We fight! But hey, when you're out of position, we fight! That's all just kept it happening.
Really, really strange from both. I mean, they're like... They're a little bit all over the place, right? Like IPG, unfortunately, their supports get stuck on the other side of the river. They initiate onto Ladon. They found Koval as well right here. Great jump and great catch, actually, by Force Major to get that one done because they force him to buy back, and then there's no Supernova. And most importantly, Fire Spirits, which really are kind of being the death of this Morphling. He's now going to realize I could use another Dispel. He's going to build up towards the Yasha for the Manta style. That's going to be super useful this game, but just a weird team fight for both teams. Very disorganized. It's a long Roche at least, which is going to be beneficial to both teams, having still lost quite heavily there in that engagement.
Yeah, I think that at least this is better for PvP in the overall tactical sense because... Oh, thank you for the raid, Bulldog.
I think that's... I didn't see the notification, but I think it's Bulldog's
just
chat.
Judging by the chat. Yeah, thank you guys. Welcome to the cast, by the way. This is the lower division of the Eastern European DPC.
Yeah, you're tuning into our second series of the day. We now have IPG.
Bulldog does it every day this now, so
he does.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Very
Bulldog. You even rated me yesterday, so you might recognize the sound of my voice because I was on Snow Sweet Snow yesterday. We've got another good match here in the Eastern European lower division between IPG. From now on, they're going to be known as Team Tequila.
True. So since we're talking about the game again, I want to say that this kind of stalling of the game is perfect for VP, who is just now going to, well, go for a team fight that they actually want to take. Yes, you have to deal with Supernova and Ravage, but I feel like with the BKBs and the extra items you've gotten, you should be able to deal with this.
Oh, Smoke's going to break.
Beautiful Rocket Flare.
Yep.
Ah, so good. Rocket Flare plus Clockwork being standing there, broke the smoke and gave him vision, even though it was daytime as well. So, really, really good idea. The reason why you smoke in daytime is because by the time the smoke breaks, you also see the enemy, but not if they have high ground, of course. So that's the advantage there. Yeah. So the Weaver here, we do see a hook shot here. I think they're fighting here in the triangle. And we're going to try Weaver on the runaway, E-Blade to saving Ladon. The vision, though, we don't know what VEP... Sorry, we only see what IPG is seeing right now as they try to go for the Weaver. Nice vacuum into the snakes, and the Ravage is only going to catch the Darkseer realistically and the Weaver illusion, which is not that valuable. You just lost your Ravage, one of the big team fight ults there.
Yeah, they almost lost Phoenix. It was a two-pronged attack. IPG, they didn't really know where the enemies were. They knew they were coming from the triangle, but from two sides, they need a little bit of a formal team fight here for IPG, don't they? You need to have Tidehunter in front so we can get a good Ravage off on everyone that's trying to get past him. Yep. But that's not effective when your Morphling's going this way. Sorry, that was the Ursa going that way. Your Morphling's coming this way with the rest of the team. Like, they weren't really sure where the enemies were coming from. Nice usage there of just splitting forces and going for a nice maneuver here. But IPG, they're going to show up a little bit of the tactics
we also
themselves.
have the shard for Grimstroke now.
We do. That's going to be the Ink Over.
Yeah. Enemy and Ink slowing their... I mean, I've actually never seen the shard in action, but well, it could probably be pretty strong in a core Grimstroke. We'll see. It reduces attack speed, deals a bit of damage, reduces movement speed essentially when you ink someone over. Right?
It's like half of a Fire Spirit you can kind of think of, I think.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair.
A little bit less.
More damage, but a less attack speed reduction. That was a beautiful initiation, though. And Laurel still survived it.
Yeah,
Thanks
it's
to
got BKB.
Goes for Ascold. Where's the Weaver? No, are you just going to leave Ascold to die?
Ladon trying his best.
Someone help Ascold, please. Ladon is the only one here. Soulbind, they have to use a Supernova in the backlines. They shackle the Weaver because Weaver's alone. And that's going to be a guaranteed kill on Terrari. While they still try to deal with Laurel in the backline, it's not going to be enough. You don't have Ravage for this fight, so Tidehunter is just useless. A big creep torn to shreds as they send the Clockwork flying. They kill Caval as well, and they're going to go for the last hero that's engaging, which is Ladon. What a huge mistake by the Weaver deciding to go and leave the Morphling and instead go against the Shadow Shaman.
It's too dangerous. Once you don't have Ravage, and it was already, I think they didn't have it in that fight, right? Yeah, it was still on cooldown. You don't have Ravage, so you can't just call to your offlaner to say, hey, help, I'm being stunned, you know, use the ulti. Because there was nothing, right? Grimstroke is the only one with a silence of any sort of way to shut down the Shaman if he's gotten the Hex, or even worst case scenario, which we saw here, the Shackles onto Weaver. From there, the vacuum into the kill is trivial for Ursa. They don't care about the Supernova from the Phoenix. It's not doing that much damage. They're really tanky, and they take a great team fight there. VPP, I thought Laurel was getting kited around there, and to be honest, he kind of was, right? By the likes of Ladon.
I mean, they could have beat him.
Ascolds.
They just chose not to. That was a huge blunder. Huge blunder there. I am very surprised that IPG went.
Yes, because people are asking. This is a mid lane Grimstroke, right? Because they didn't see the early game. Mid lane Grimstroke did pretty well, of course. Got beat to the timing of E-Blade by Morphling because he went basically straight into the E-Blade after the boots, whereas we went Boots of Travel for the Grimstroke, after that the Blink Dagger, and now the Shard. So you've kind of missed already. I think maybe the raid happened in the mid power spike for IPG, but I would say the balance of power is shifting over here towards VPP.
Because now it's getting to the late game where they're stronger, right? And we said this from the draft, you know, yeah, IPG has a faster draft, all you want, but if you can't take advantage of this faster draft, then in the late game you're going to struggle, despite your better team fight, though. Because as you said yourself, the team fight is not mattering as much anymore, and VP are starting to get the elements to deal with you as well. Also, a really impressive performance by the Darks in this game.
Agreed. He dies, unfortunately, in that fight, but...
And we have seen him multiple times showing off his Darks here being really good, and he has gotten some really solid wall replicas.
I think another big problem they're finding is right now, basically, we have two cores for VPP, don't we? Right? Yeah. We've got Ursa and Morphling. Both of these guys
only have one core.
They only have one, and Tidehunter, he can't be there to stop and hold them back against both of them. It's impossible, especially because now the Ursa, yeah, he struggles against the Tide in the lane with a strong support like the Phoenix, but at this stage, the Ursa with BKB, what else does he have? Basher, at least. Right? Yeah, he's got Basher. Not much else, to be honest, but he's got the Abyssal Blade coming to him now, so it's real scary. He's about to have this level 25 talent. I would say this game, it's one of the best games I've seen for the overpower attacks, and should be looking real good here.
Well, one of my concerns as well is what happens to VVP once the BKBs become lower, you know, and they actually don't have enough time to fight the full team fight with BKB duration. Then maybe the Grimstroke becomes a relevant core again. I think one of the mistakes of the Grimstroke is choosing to go for the Shard or just amplifying his magical damage as opposed to BKB deterrence, which in this case would be Ags or Hex. Yeah. Either or would be fine to deal with the BKBs. I still think you have itemization options for IPG, mind you. I just think that you need a bit more now right now.
Yeah, this Aeon Disc is really nice to have, but it just feels like, again, Askel, you had a great early game, pretty good early game, I would say. They got a couple of kills, I would say, especially Ladon really popping off, basically getting 2 kills all by himself versus the Morphling. Yep. And he might even get one here versus Force Major. Hookshot perfectly on the mark. And Force Major does have himself here the Psychic Headband, so he can get out of the shards or the cogs if he wants. But he's fighting. He's fighting versus Ladon. He's not going to get the kill, unfortunately. A little bit too aggressive, and does drop Serpent Wards there. 25 talent now for the Weaver. He's taking the move speed. All right. I think I'm always a fan of the +1 Geminate attack, and then you queue up that Divine Rapier personally. Supernova's been left behind, but he does have Ascold here. So they are going to give the chase up, are they? Laurel trying to counter-initiate here. Oh, Mantis style though for Laurel, so he no longer cares that much about only the Grimstroke.
Okay, was that the Mantis style reveal though?
Maybe.
You can't play like that once you have Mantis style. You need to play a bit differently the Grimstroke. Yellow 25 on Weaver though, it's a huge point of inflection. Abyssal Blade, Ravage to control him, but he has used Enrage just before.
Great hookshot
as well, everything to save the Weaver. Has to silence himself away, but now Weaver's actually saved, and he can beat Notice. The BKB is not important to Rari, but he has to run away.
Supernova.
The vacuum brings him back, and the Supernova, yes, it's in the high ground, it's beautiful. but your Weaver's dead. There's no more damage for your team. VPP can live to see another day, and Morphling managed to survive them.
Yeah, great stuff. Great control, as you said, the vacuum as well out from Celebrity, pulling back Rari to his death, as he was able to live once, thankfully, because of the time lapse. A great Ravage to counter initiate. That short little stun was enough to make sure he didn't get a further bash after the Abyssal. Unfortunately, he runs back in and then gets dragged back in against his will by the Hoover of Celebrity. And that's going to be another great team fight here for VPP. Again, I agree with you completely. I want to touch on something that you said just before we got into that team fight, Avo, which was you can't play like this once you have the Manta style. I mean,
you need to use Ghost and then wait and then use the E-Blade, or just E-Blade first.
Yeah, because we took that fight as right after when E-Blade was on cooldown, when probably Phantom's Embrace was on cooldown, because if it dies, it has a really long cooldown, right? We didn't have any of those. That's the mid lane Grimstroke contribution. Abyssal Blade now, they're going to go for Koval. He's got an E-Blade to try and keep himself alive. The Yule Scepter as well, as they have at least gotten notice to use the Enrage. Look at this. Laurel perhaps in some trouble. The cock pushback. That's the first life, though. Can they get it again? Without a Ravage, it's going to be a bit difficult, and long-range Shackles here with the Serpent Wards on top of a vacuum. That's going to allow Notice to jump in, but Supernova using his own Ghost Scepter there to make sure he doesn't end up taking down to the damage. We've got buyback on Rari in 16, but the tower's not going to last that long, and I suspect these lane of barracks aren't much longer for this world either.
Too late in the game. Too late in the game. Weaver can no longer deal with them, and you can do all the Grimstroke combos you want, dude. You even have a team to help you with the Ghost. There we go. Yeah, Weaver reached his final peak, which is the level 25, right? So you're not going to scale anymore on Weaver. I mean, you still get items, but you're done, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, any big power spikes. Whereas Noticed just reached his level 25 as well. Another big power spike. But the Ursa continues to get stronger. He has great Ags, great Shard, just in general, awesome items. Morphling's even going for an Ags now. That question, why? Well, why? What do you want to turn into? Ursa?
Ursa with Shard seems pretty good.
No, with Ags, right?
Radiant
Well, you don't get Enrage, though. So.
Oh, good point. Yeah, it's tied to the...
useless.
No, good point. Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, double Ion Shell, not very good. You don't want to be last on anyone. Brewmaster.
No use to Brewmaster's existence.
Okay, so an enemy team? Weaver, probably?
Yeah, but why would you buy the Axe for it?
Radiant's middle tower is under
I
attack.
don't know clue here, to be honest with you.
Because you don't get over.
Gush?
Gosh. Is that it?
Gush, he has
the
been
axe for the
he
Gush?
has been turning into the Tide Hunter
Hunter,
in the
yeah.
fights. I've been seeing him anchor smashing, which is pretty useful, of course, versus the Weaver.
I mean, Aerial E Gosh is not bad. If he's playing a really good, this is a really good example of a space creation morphing, though. I think that Laurel played an amazing game. Credit where credit is due.
Yes,
You know, you have a greedy
yes.
lineup and you adapt to it.
I think overall, yes, I agree. He did play a good game. He did
Okay,
die
I
a
know
bunch
that
of
he
times.
died a
no,
couple of times.
Come on, I'm going to acknowledge that he did die a couple of times, but that's because he has to take the dangerous farm, right?
Exactly,
He's way more tanky. He can usually get out of very difficult situations, whereas an Ursa depends on just being able to enrage TP. That's his combo, right? Where the Morphin is way more flexible. Although I may have just spoken too soon, as he's taking very dangerous farm a little bit too late in the game, and he's going to be a victim of a big old rotation out from the rest of IPG. Ladan easily connecting onto that one. He's going to have this overclock soon. That's going to be real big here. Is Rari. It might be in some trouble. We don't have an Abyssal Blade, but we do have just a regular bash. He's got the time lapse though. Very tanky here on this Weaver. They have bought back here for Laurel, so they don't want to be fighting here until we have another time lapse. But that's going to be the Lincoln Sphere coming in handy there for Rari.
Well, we saw that at least Rari is not going to die anytime soon, thanks to that Lincoln. He's a much harder target to catch
and he
up.
Laurel buys back, by the way. Roshan
Yeah.
not up, so this is a bad fight here, or this is a bad time for VPP. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that. Like, now you might be able to take the next team fight, and if you win the Roche with it, you might be able to just settle the game with this. I think that's the hope they're trying to go for. But it's still kind of difficult because VVP still have stronger carries. So the problem that Weaver's facing is, okay, even if I deal with all their catch and I survive everything, I still can't deal with the Ursa one-on-one. And that's one of the issues that IPG's been suffering through. And since Weaver's your only source of damage, honestly, Grimstroke and Tide don't matter, especially once the BKBs are up.
Yeah, to be honest, now that you say that, you do make me remember, of course, that, it's an 80 damage % reduction with Enrage active, I believe. Yeah, 50% status resist.
There's no way you're murdering.
There's no way, even with Divine Rapier. Like, there's no way. Like, that's actually a really, really great counter here to that sort of playstyle. So I retract my statement about how the +1 Geminate attack is always better, because I think I've found the game where it's not.
It's not always better, and every single game they prove you wrong by picking the other
Not
talent.
every single game.
Every single game we've cast together, they've taken the other talent, and you'll go, well, next one will be.
No, that's not true. We casted a game where he took a Divine Rapier and he one-shot a Dusa, or something like that.
And he lost.
No, they won that game. 100%.
What, the last Weaver game we casted?
Not the last one. It
was
was
RDO.
it was a Weaver game early on. No, it was not RDO Weaver. Definitely
That was the
not.
last game we casted.
Yeah, I
And he
know.
went for the- and
Do
he
you know
went
how
for
many
the gem
games
in
we've
attack.
casted in the past 5
And
weeks?
he went for the gem in attack.
How many
and he
games
lost that.
have we casted together in the past 5 weeks?
I'm just saying, Richie. I hear you say that talent thing a lot, but I feel like a lot of pros disagree
That's
with
real
you.
Good. IPG now, they're going to be holding on. Notice just running right on in with the Lotus Orb. He's not scared of anything. And with the Surge active as well, they nearly blow up Ladon. Laurel farming the small camp in the meantime, though. There's going to be the Tornado
Just running
lifting
at them.
up the Tidehunter, but they are getting ran at. Koval as well still has Icarus type, but they've lost Ladon,
Oh,
and they're
no.
set to lose Koval. Dead for 80. Here's Weaver now, popping the BKB, jumping onto Force Major, who's going to just at least turn, and you actually start shackling, funnily enough, the Ancient to get a little bit more Serpent Wards down. Buybacks out from Koval as Tidehunter still lifted, just in the entirety for this fight. Notice once more, Saskold is going to be able to blink away. Aghanim Scepter now. Dark Portrait is available.
Okay, that Dark Portrait is
DSA,
enough.
careful here. That's
No,
you're going to
He's okay. He's okay.
Okay.
He calculated that. He knew it. The Earth one is very, very powerful. Heaven's Halberd, other Ursa carry to the Surge. He still has the cheese anyway.
Great Ravage.
Not going to hurt Notice too much. Hookshot though with a Supernova as well. Now the Vacuum to reset the team fight. Is that going to be enough to eat the cheese on the Ursa? Both cores are outside the Supernova range. Instead they're going for the simple supports. And they're going to kill Force Major a second time as a dieback. Now Ursa could be in trouble. Notice going instead for the quick kill onto Ladon is not going to work out. Abyssal Blade to the Phoenix. He's just trying to hit something and heal. But the Yule Scepter is catching him and putting him in place. They've already lost the Morphling. Notice is going to go down. Thanks to that Ink Soak. What's it called? Ink? Bottle of ink on you?
Ink over.
Ink over.
Oh,
There you go.
no. Oh, notice though. He might have gone too far. He just bought back to get in this engagement, but he's got the BKB. He had the Lincoln Sphere. He was fine. He was fine. That was a false alarm. I got too excited there. But that was really dangerous. If he died, because right now IPG with a massive advantage, but they got to go into Roshan. They simply can't. They don't have the ultis right now. Notice is going to be able to go through this Roshan basically for free. That's going to be then essentially his buyback taken care of, as he is going to be having here an Aegis, although Rari looking to try and counter-initiate here. We've seen him do it a couple of times. So down goes Roshan. They're going to vacuum him up. That should scare him off. Supernova running on in as Rari now. Okay, they're going to be able to at least get the double Yule Scepter, but there's going to be the Wall of Replica. Soulbind actually connecting him, holding him back to the Tidehunter illusion. That forced him to stand his ground and fight in the river. There's the Ink over now, disarmed, and look at the damage out from the Inkswell. That's already the first life down, but he still has the Enrage for when he comes back. Morph back in a whole minute, though, so they need to really hold out here as Rari. Oh, they're not going to be able to cancel his TP. Notice he's out of here. DSA, he will be able to leave as well, and with the Surge, Celebrity safely away. But still, they have a scary about 30 seconds here if IPG want to force the issue. Unfortunately, they cannot. All the lanes are so pushed.
Yeah, VPP, that loss of the Morphing was a huge one in the last team fight, so they almost gave a chance to IPG to do something there, but what are you meant to do, honestly? Like right now, you don't have enough push to actually make something out of it in terms of the map control. You have no outer towers to take anyway. You can't go high ground. Roshan wasn't up, so... Sorry, Roshan was up, and that's what you took, and that's it.
Yeah. And hey, good move by VPP to immediately go right into that. They knew that was the like if they lose Roche, the game is over.
Exactly. So that was a really smart move, taking advantage of the fact that you had Ursa, right? So they pretty much blocked the only move you had on IPG, and now IPG is like, well, I mean, we're not lost yet, but it's looking like it soon.
It's getting there. I mean, it really is coming down to teamfight execution. And IPG, they do really well on the counter initiation there. Like an unbelievably good Ravage, catching 4 heroes, like beautiful, right? Yep. Not only that, but he catches 4 heroes in such a way where 3 are caught right here, makes it a very easy Supernova target. Not Supernova the Tidehunter, Supernova the Egg and Sunray, but also it forces Morphling to isolate from the rest of his team. So really, really great job there on Supernova the Tidehunter.
I hate that. It's gonna be.
That's like naming your dog Sit, isn't it? For Dota casters.
It's just really mean though to the dog and to Supernova
and to the Dota casters.
And to the Dota casters. Yeah. Especially because I wish that you would just pick it, not pick Phoenix. You know, if you name yourself Supernova or after like a hero's ability, don't pick Phoenix.
It should be like your team no Bounty Hunter, team no Undying. You can't pick it.
Yeah, though they still picked it, right?
They do.
Also, the pick is not no Undying. It's just called Undying.
There's a no Undying in Western Europe.
Oh, really?
Yes. They're playing in Snow Sweet Snow right now.
Oh, I can't wait for
And
Undying.
I casted their game yesterday, which was versus Creepwave. Very confusing game.
I can't wait for Undying to have to deal with no Undying in a true international fashion.
I was like, the no Undying Creepwave is pushing into the Creepwave's high ground as DSA in trouble now. Stuck inside the cogs, trying to get up the promised link.
No.
Good luck. He just yells. The Panda just yells in the face of Clockwork there a couple of times.
Man, battery assault for Brewmaster is like deforestation for Pandas. It's just killing the whole species.
Yeah, it's a hard counter here.
It really is.
Radiant's middle tower is
It's
under attack.
a tough time here. As well as Darkseer nearly has his own PKB, by the way. Just needs a little bit more for the recipe to save for buyback. 1,000 gold, actually. His buyback right now, 2,100 gold. This isn't turbo mode. He's just a very farmed Darkseer, as this game seems destined to go all but late. Laurel, again, his BKB duration still 7 seconds. That's pretty notable for at this length of the game, but we've got a 6-second BKB as well for Rari. Not too bad. He's really only going to use the BKB after the, how do you say this? After the Lincoln Sphere is broken.
Sorry, go on. The timing of us doing the modding in the chat and Cap's message was just too good. The BKB finally completed here. I think it's on the Darkseer here for Celebrity.
No, it's okay. Cap was posting fake spoilers.
Well,
Don't worry.
I'm aware.
But Cap, you got real close. You could tell where this game was going. You can tell he's watched a couple of games.
Cap, you gotta be a worse caster,
Yeah,
dude. You
come
can't
on,
post
Cap.
fake spoilers that accurate.
Yeah, that's like being a weatherman and being like, I don't know, I think it's going to be like 73 degrees today and blah, blah, blah.
I don't know what that means. What is 73?
Yeah.
That's like hell. Like
You forget, no. He's American. He's
Can you
got me
use
on that one.
real units?
No, we cannot. Fahrenheit is superior.
BKB on Darkseer just picked up. He's almost level 25 as well.
That's going to be nice for... I wonder... I always see him take Parallel Wall, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. But I do find... I don't know. AoE Surge, I think, is so good. I love it. But AoE Surge is such an annoyance to use. Because, you know, if you self-cast as an AoE...
I agree, Ban Kyle. Good one.
It just... it just works in the Darkseer himself, right? When you Surge himself, which is pretty awful. So why is that a thing? Why is an AoE around you?
Can you not? Well, you just have to target it.
You have to target it. So that makes it much harder.
That's fine, though.
It's kind of a real
fight.
annoyance.
Don is dead. They got rid of him. That's a gem now into the hands of Laurel, turning onto Supernova, but Rari with the DD rune. Do they want to fight him?
Back
Yes,
in shackles?
because into the shackles as well. And notice right on top, the Stroke of Fate. Is it going to be enough? It doesn't look like it. Disarmed. It's going to be the Ursa Warrior, and they will give enough time there for Rari to get off the time lapse, but now the counter initiation. Supernova stun does not catch anyone, but Supernova with his Supernova Ravage might be able to stun up a few people. For now, though, he's going to be completely left behind as his team has no interest in trying to help him out, although he's living a long time, so they may just look for the re-engage here. 20 seconds left for another time lapse as Laurel does get a scout him. Ravage now catching 4 in the river. Where's the follow-up? Rari wants the damage on the notice. He's a bit too tanky. He's going to consume the cheese now as Supernova in trouble. But again, they find the shackles onto Rari. This time there's no help as they will get 2. Laurel still killing supports on the back lines. He finds Askold, who is not a support. That is a mid laner, nearly dying there to the vessel. But he's still alive, and without buyback now is going to be our Weaver.
No, I'm going to take the tower down in the mid lane. Let's see if this works out. No Weaver means no damage. So it's up to Grimstroke and the Tide to deal with this. They have no ultimates either. This is looking pretty dire, both in who's going to win and literally for IPG. Let's see what happens
Ags
here.
as well for our Brewmaster. So
He's had it for like 10 minutes.
So he can safely, I know the reason I'm saying is now he can safely just use that before he gets into the team fights, right? Which we saw him do last time.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Now, without Weaver, how do you defend this? Genuinely, I don't think Supernova can do much without his Ravage. Just an E-Blade, which is great for, you know, defensive utility, but not really useful to defend this. Adon coming in, going for the Darkseer, but doesn't seem to matter too much. Oh my goodness, that Dark Portrait almost killed Darkseer. They do get Celebrity. The Morphling is tired. You're not going to use me against my teammates. The E-Blade ends up saving the Morphling here. Or sorry, the Grimstroke for a second, but they kill him regardless. Supernova also falls, and that's going to be the win given to BPP. Taking this into the late game, 50 minutes in, they managed to beat IPG.
Yeah, GG well played there, as it's going to be the Morphling duo core lineup, of course. We can't ignore the impact that the Ursa had, but of course, I would say MVP definitely for Morphling. He had to create so much space early on in that game. That was just so easy for him. Or rather, it was easy for the Ursa, right? The Ursa's game was relatively easy, thanks to the Morphling. Unsung hero this game, for sure.
Yeah, I think that, in general, VP.Prodigy played an awesome game. I find that the draft was kind of hard to get to the point that they were executing it properly, right? Because you needed a lot of time to make this draft work. But it worked simply because of, again, Laurel's decision to be a space maker this game, which was incredible. Celebrity's incredible counter initiations with the vacuum wall replica. And an unsung hero, I think, would also be DSA, who whose Cyclones pretty much secured the team fights as he prevented the Ravage from being perfect many, many, many times. It was on point. Really, really well done, honestly, VP.Prodigy. This time they showed in their A game entirely. And IPG, with a draft like this, you either, win in the mid game, which is like 40, 30 minutes. You have more time than, say, a Death Ball draft, but you don't have enough time to deal with a Morphling Ursa late game. It was just impossible. You don't have enough damage to deal with them. That's why when I was setting the draft, I was suggesting the draft go for like a 4-protect-1 lineup, because you had a really good, solid 4-protect-1, and then you have a safety of a late game carry. But I can understand why they thought the Weaver was the right pick, and I don't blame him for him.
It almost worked.
Yeah, exactly, but it almost is not what you need in Dota.
It's not, no, and I think once
I
the
say
game,
I almost won an MR, but that means I lost it.
I mean, once the game especially goes past like 45 minutes and it's 2 cores versus 1, let's be honest, like the game it's so hard, right? As we can see all the people behind us just shuffling Alvaro, waving to them, even though, of course, no one looks into the back of cars for people who are waving.
Really?
Is that why you... Never mind. We're going to be going to a short break, guys. When we come back, game number 2 between IPG and VP.Prodigy. It's VP.Prodigy. I believe they're 3-2 compared to the 1-3 for IPG here. So real important games here for both teams. Yeah, we'll be back after a short break. Until then, enjoy some ads.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
You ready? Huh? Hey, easy boy, huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
My name is Jordan Gilbert, aka Nothing.
Hi, my name is Sue Lee. My handle is Smix. I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really, really goes a long way, and it always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help.
I encourage everyone in the community, anytime they see bullying, anytime they see someone getting called names, I encourage you to step up and say something.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
Hello, guys, and welcome back. We're here in the ESL, sorry, in the Eastern European Lower Division DPC League. We're watching, created by ESL, powered by Intel, where we're watching the game between VP.Prodigy and IPG.
We're so close to getting Avo to say that we're in the ESL region. We're so close, guys. We're almost there. Don't worry, ESL. The brainwashing's working. But
I was wearing their shirt yesterday.
Yeah, for the past couple of broadcasts, actually.
Different shirts, which happen to look exactly the same.
Exactly.
And they have stains that might be from the previous
I wasn't going to go that far.
But you don't know them.
That is absolutely true. Listen, you wear what you can find when you're on a really long road trip, guys. But speaking of road trips, last game was a trip back and forth. We thought that it was going to be IPG taking it early with the team fights, couple mistakes here and there. But VPP ended up taking that game. Solid game. Is there anything you're
Really good game.
Anything you're looking forward to seeing differently before we get really underway with our draft?
For IPG?
For either team. For either team. I mean, IPG, of course, naturally there's going to be a couple more things, given that they did lose the game. I can start.
Really.
I can start.
What?
I think they they need to recognize their enemies' timings a little bit better.
For IPG?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I think like there was that very specific moment, right? I'll substantiate here. There was that specific moment where they jumped onto the Morph lane, right? I mean, they saw he had Manta, and they still went for the combo and took a fight without then E-Blade and the Grimstroke.
Yep.
Any of his spells, really.
Yeah, I agree. I can see that being a relevant case for IPG. I think a lot of teams do it in this league, which is why they kind of mesh together.
Of course.
I think in the case of IPG also, I would suggest that if you want to play a quote-unquote faster draft or faster tempo, a bit of push would be nice, like even just any kind of push, really. Because last game they had 0 push, pretty much.
Okay, good point.
Like, even if you just pick up Beastmaster or NP5, hell, whatever, I'll take it. You know, Shadow Shaman 4.
Sure.
But pick some kind of push, right? I don't like that too much. But the draft's on their way, so I want to...
Yeah, let's go ahead and pull on in. We're stuck in traffic because, of course, we change our location every single day.
Yeah.
And here we are now, our draft live on your screens. We're going to have VPP. They had first pick, and on the Radiant side, so only PG, they're going to get the last laugh, or the last pick, not really a laugh, on the Dire side. They've opened up with the Brewmaster Phoenix combo again, so a little bit of flexibility there. Probably ought to see similar positions, I would say. I think the Brew
is a
side.
flex, right? Anyway, so if they do have a pick that justifies Brew 3, then you put him as 3. If not, you just keep him as 5. It's very similar to DP, where like it used to be that DP and Brew or all these heroes can flex, right? You'd run them as the main core position, and then if you can't, you go, oh, okay, I guess I'll put them as 5. You know, very similar to Batrider. But nowadays it's more like you run them as 5s, and then if you can flex them into core, great. If not, who cares? In this case, IPG picks up a much more solid win condition already, which is the Storm Spirit. Pretty decent against Brew, pretty decent against Phoenix, so I kind of like this pickup. He's not the best egg hitter, but he can usually hit the egg and rarely gets hits by Fire Spirits.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a little bit of utility there. They should ban the Lycan, though, in my opinion, because you can always afford to run Lycan mid against the Storm, and it's a pretty safe pick. I've seen Lycans basically carry the game up from the mid lane because the Storm's tempo he's just not there. He doesn't have the wave clear. He can't really do too nicely versus the Wolves, especially if you don't have the Wolves stuck together, so the overload doesn't kill them right away, right? Which I think any good mid lane Lycan will do. So that's a bit dangerous. They banned the Beastmaster, another good one, but I'd like to see that Lycan in here as well. And you can see, I think VPP, they might be thinking about it with this Mars ban and the Puck.
It's true. I mean, obviously the Puck, they weren't thinking about it. It's just a really strong hero. But the Mars, yeah. And the problem with Lycan, of course, that mid-game, Storm can, or if this goes late enough, Storm can really easily catch up to you, right? And that's one of the struggles. However, if VP went for something, a lineup like, I don't know, say Lycan with like...
Riki?
No, I was actually thinking
Chug?
Bloodseeker.
Okay.
Like
you're just always thinking about Bloodseeker,
oh, yeah,
aren't you?
Think of Bloodseeker, think of Troll. These heroes are really strong laners that can really work well with like a fast lineup. I think those heroes are well suited to like a Lycan mid. Because a Lycan mid, I think, is one of the few heroes that, yes, he's played as a space creator, but in this kind of matchup, if you want to take advantage of his laning phase, you want to play him as your win condition, right? You don't want to play him as your space creator.
I could see that. I also like the Lycan in kind of a dual core when you already know the mid lane.
Exactly.
In this case. Because then, like, when the Lycan, you're right, he does eventually fall off. He's not the strongest heroes, especially when you have when you have the option to build any sort of mobility. So I like the fact that, yeah, strong laner is just to be able to secure it. Strong support as well with the Brewmaster is going to be a little risky, so I think that's why you're going to point. You're keen to point that one out. But just having the option of building into the Wolfbite later for the Aghanim Scepter and further buffing your core for basically I mean, 4,200 gold, right? But that's almost nothing for like in late game. That's so much utility. They're going to ban the Darkseer. Celebrity played a great Darkseer game last time around. Had a little bit of a tough lane as well, so he did very, very nicely to recover from there. Should be noted. But the ban now back to VPP after they will take out the Weaver. Rari did play a very mean game on the Weaver. It's important to note, though, you mentioned the troll earlier, that Rari is a ferocious troll player. He is very, very strong on the hero. Definitely can take some engagements he shouldn't be able to do. And that's still an option here. If IPG, they open up with the Oracle, it is going to force the issue. It's fantastic versus the Phoenix. Very strong lane as well with the Oracle. And that could be enough for IPG to get a nice mid-game power spike with the Storm. I don't know, Orchid +1 item, and probably Maelstrom +1 item for the troll.
Yep.
So right now that's a really good option for IPG. That their draft is not meant to hold a troll right now. It's a big problem
for Prodigy. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Brewmaster can deal with troll. There's a ban actually. They ban a troll themselves because they're afraid of them picking it up. I mean, it makes sense. I didn't mention the dual cores troll Bloodseeker, right?
No, you're
Notice
totally
is
right.
also a well-known troll player.
Rari's a ferocious troll though, right? He's the guy with like a 71% win rate. Granted, a lot of like lower tier, up and coming amateur tournaments as well those stats are going to be included, but still, a respectable win rate.
I think in this game you do need something along the lines of a troll for IPG, something with a relatively faster lineup. Like last game, you got away with an Ursa Morphling. Just Prophet is the pick for IPG right now. Hard to tell if it's a 3 or a 5, but I think that it works out. He's a decent egg hitter as well, good against Brewmaster if you're a 3 because you bring the Orchid to the table.
You said you wanted some push, even a Fury in 5, and they pick it.
Yeah, I'll take it. I think it's fine.
Do you think it's fine maybe for the offlane as well if they can get away with it?
I like it more as the offlaner of this game, honestly, because the Orchid I think is huge value against Phoenix Brewmaster, but it depends on what the matchup is, right? Because I'm not really sure what VP.Prodigy is going to run as their core.
Yeah, they don't have
a carry.
I mean, potentially, right, this is their offlane, right? Supernova Brewmaster and Phoenix for DSA. Yep. Or Force Major, sorry, the position 4. DSA is the 5, which they may decide to pick his hero now and continue. I don't know, you can't really continue the flex, though. It's hard to, like, flex a position 3, a position 5, and a position 4 all with one pick. So VPP, they're probably going to have to reveal something about this this pick right now. And IPG, they're going to be able to respond. So
I'd pick a 2 because the only lane you already know. You don't Storm Spirit.
True. Yeah, that's a really good idea actually.
You just pick something that can kind of deal with Storm. Like, honestly, with this lineup, I don't mind the Light Struck at all. Again, I always suggest against Storm. I don't think the hero's out of the meta, as people say, that much. Ricky's the pick for VP.Prodigy. They're going to be rolling for the Ricky, which is suggested. Pretty good Storm counter, mind you, and decent and really good against Clockwork as well. Actually, really good against NP. Now I want NP5.
Yeah, for sure, NP5. That way, when you harass and feed your treants in the lane, it's not going to be too consequential to the Furian's game, right? Because that's just what you do versus Riki. You kind of just feed treants, especially if it's the Brewmaster support there as well. Although, if it's a Riki safe lane, Furian's probably not going to be laning against him, but that's the point, right?
Yeah, you have 2 high armor if it's Nature's Prophet 3, though. So you know that the Riki is pretty much going to destroy that lane. This time you do pick a Grimstroke for IPG, but it's going to be a support Grimstroke, yeah. 5 or 4, because we've seen Ladon kind of flex that Clockwork all the time. I think it depends.
Yeah. It's a good lane versus well, actually you don't know the safe lane, but probably, I mean, you set up very nicely for obviously not the Riki, right? Troll's a consideration. Never mind, it's ban. Just kidding. Juggernaut though is a good one there for the spin combo, especially at level 3. It's really potent.
For IPG, yeah.
Yeah, for IPG. Sorry.
Ursa's also fine.
Oh yeah. Good Ursa game here versus the Phoenix. I went real Canadian there. Oh yeah, bud.
Yeah. Riki is kind of a. Oh okay, Rubik. So that means either Brewmaster offlane or Phoenix offlane, right? Because they both, Phoenix and Brewmaster, can play 5.
Or Rubik mid.
Or Rubik mid, though.
Versus the Storm?
Rather not.
Yeah,
honestly.
I agree.
Not the best of counters. But VP.Prodigy, okay draft for now. Like, I'm seeing a couple weaknesses, mainly, again, their speed, but I don't think IPG has something that great against them. There's a Lifestealer ban. I think you probably ban Lifestealer and Juggernaut and just protect your Phoenix as much as possible. Especially because you're kind of flexing the Phoenix's potential 3, right? So this means that you, as IPG, won't really know where the Phoenix is going to go at any point, because obviously both Phoenix and Brewmaster, they're the flexes here. So even if you have last pick, you don't have the advantage there of knowing how your lane is going to go, which means IPG's last pick is kind of broken.
I don't really know. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on this, but I don't really know where I'd want to put the Phoenix right now. I'm tempted to put him as a position 3 because that's going to give him more farm and make him more dangerous and put a higher priority on this egg, which then sets up beautifully for Riki with ideally, right, the Ags, Battle Fury, plus a damage item to absolutely murder them, right?
Yes.
Because Riki, much like a Dusa, they're good, but they're even better when they have an objective to defend.
Yes, and I think that's the right call as well, to be honest with you, because I think that if Phoenix goes a 3 here, right, on top of that, what you cancel is that if NP and Storm Spirit are your egg hitters per se, right, which means just, they're not egg hitters, they just can hit the egg a bit,
Yeah.
right, compared to like a Snapfire or Morphling
they're
or an
capable.
Ursa.
They're capable.
That means that if you actually have levels on Phoenix, these egg hitters are no longer enough, right? You need a Snapfire or something like that
True.
to counter him. And whereas support Phoenix, usually having 2 ranged heroes is enough against the Phoenix, as well, 2 ranged heroes that can actually hit, right, because Grimstroke cannot. So I don't think it's I think the Phoenix 3 is also a bit better. I also like the Brewmaster 5 a bit more than Brewmaster 3, but it also depends on what lane he gets. We've seen Celebrity play Brewmaster, we've seen DSA play Brewmaster, they both can play it. As for the mid though, what are they picking against Storm Spirit?
I still think Lush is fine. It's not banned yet.
I really do like the Lash a lot. I don't think they're not going to ban it though. They're not going to ban it. They don't care about the Lash. I suggest that hero every game. It's not going to happen.
What are we missing? A bit of tower push, which Lash is really nice for.
Lash DP is what I'm thinking.
What
2
about-
heroes that are good against Storm that would give you team fight and tower push.
Yeah,
I mean, they're just so solid, right?
they are.
But it also depends on what you want to play at VP.Prodigy. It is Laurel, so maybe it goes for the Void Spirit. I don't think the Spirit
10
matchups are good against
seconds
Storm.
remaining.
I think they both lose to Storm.
Dire team pick.
Morphling again. Wow. Not what I expected whatsoever.
This is even greedier than last time. Dude.
It is. It is really
Because Ricky
greedy.
and Morphling is like... Because last time Ursa is Battle Fury, okay, sure. But this time, oh my goodness, dude. Ricky is one of the greediest cores right now. It's like PA levels of greed.
And they have like much better catch for Morphling this time around.
Yeah, and you're not the 5-on-5 this time. You actually have a win condition as well
do.
on the Storm. A lot of single target.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm concerned for the Morphling because last time we saw a great game, it should be said. It was from Laurel out the mid lane Morphling. And I said it last game, but I'll just restate it now because I think it's crucial, and I'll contrast it to what I think we're going to see, is that he was able to take a lot of this dangerous farm, right?
Yeah.
And that enabled Ursa to recover in the jungle with his Battle Fury. But this game, they have much better catch with him, and they're going to get a PL out as well.
Interesting choice in the PL. Okay, so then I was actually hoping seeing the Morphling pick.
Offline Brew. Sorry, go
Offline
ahead.
Brew. I was hoping that was actually going to be NP5, Grimstroke 3, right? Because Grimstroke 3, or Grimstroke Core in general, is really solid against Morphling, because of course the Dark Portrait.
Yeah, we saw it last time as well.
We saw it last time. 4 can still farm the Ags though, so it's not too bad, though I find that the MP3 is super cancelled here. But yeah, we'll see. And the Phantom Lancer Morphling matchup, quite a peculiar matchup. Depending on who you ask, they'll say one person is sided, one other person is sided, depending. Because yes, the Phantom Lancer is, I mean, Morphling cannot deal with Phantom Lancer easily, no area damage, it's obvious. But Phantom Lancer is also weak against Morphling, because Morphling can morph into you and just use you against you, right? Which is, well, a bunch of you against a bunch of you, which works perfectly. And if you go for even maybe the talents for the morph and stuff, Morphling is just permamorphed into Phantom Lancer and is really difficult to deal with him. And all the important skills from Phantom Lancer he pretty much takes, right?
You know, it's funny that you bring that up, but you're absolutely right. PL does not do well,
Against
ironically,
another PL.
against another PL. He's built for single target, like just overpowering by numbers, whereas he, I mean, you never see a PL like micro his illusions. They're always just hitting the same guy, especially because they don't last that long. Interesting hypothesis there. I wonder how this one's going to be going. I also don't really like the 3 Furion, I'm not going to lie, but because it is a position 4 Supernova, sorry, Supernova's the player name. It's a position 4, oh, wrong one here. Let's get into the game. There we go, that was the right button. Back into the car for just a hot second, don't worry about it.
Guys, we already have the dash cam ready to go.
But, yeah, you know, we're in traffic, that's why I didn't have my hands on the wheel. But I still,
Yes,
I still think it's going to be okay, right? It's Supernova.
We don't have seatbelts because we're fine. We're foreigners in Russia. They don't ban foreigners in Russia.
It shouldn't be too bad of a time. Plus, the lane here with Ladon is potentially very deadly, as they will actually be sending Laurel, mid lane here. Are they going to try and dodge the matchup then, or is Riki just hoping for first blood up here?
I think it's very similar to last game this time, by the way, as in terms of like the timings, right? VVP is hoping for like a late game when they can actually farm enough on Riki. Morphling, I think even despite the Phantom Lancer, if you go for Battle Fury Ags build on Riki, yeah, good luck, right? That is enough area damage to deal with a Phantom Lancer.
Easily.
Yeah, exactly.
With a smoke screen on top, crucially.
Of
right?
course, of course.
Yeah.
But of course, the question with that is, how do I make it to that late into the game? We'll see. Honestly, it's not that easy to do for VP this time, because now you actually have push on IPG, not just the NP, but which is also a 3 by the way, but also the Phantom Lancer, which brings the Phantom Rush to the table. That works on towers. That's extra agility bonus when hitting a tower, usually enough to push it. So I think this time it's a bit, but that of course that means that you have a slower team on IPG.
The battle begins.
I'm not sure who I side with, honestly. I think it really depends so much on execution, especially judging from last game. I thought VP executed considerably better, so
I agree with that, but I think this time around having the Grimstroke on a support role is way better this game. He's a hero that can farm really nicely, so that's why you see him mid lane on occasion.
Oh, he's playing 5 this time as well.
He is, but he can still farm just as nicely. In fact, most of the time, Grimstrokes will not put that many points into Stroke of Fate to make sure they're not stealing too much farm from their cores. That's how much of a problem. Like same thing with like Illuminate, right?
You instead go for the Inkswell build usually when you have a
Exactly.
good lane for it, and this is a really strong lane.
Yeah, Phantom Rush. You mentioned it versus the towers, but it ain't bad here versus the Brewmaster or the Rubik alike. But I like it because he's going to be able to farm a bunch of really important items. I mean, 4-step of the utmost important this game, really for both teams, right? Versus the Riki, obviously. Getting someone out of a Sprout, getting someone out of Cogs, it's super, super useful.
I'm actually kind of happy that the Brew is going for the Cinder Brew build, by the way. It's the most efficient build in terms of mana per damage, right? But it can be dispelled, as we just saw here with Doppelganger. The thing is, Cinder Brew has a much lower cooldown than the Doppelganger, especially level 1. So the PL has to make a choice. Do I want to max Doppelganger, therefore reducing the cooldown by 5 seconds each level, and allowing myself to, well, survive to the Cinder Brew? Or do I want to max my Phantom Rush like I should to farm faster, right? And if you force him to max Doppelganger, it's a viable build, but obviously it's worse for a PL. So we'll see. And if that happens as Brewmaster, all you do is you take the first 2 points of Cinder Brew. So it's like, oh, look, I'm maxing Cinder Brew. And the next 3 into Thunderclap. And then you're fine, right?
Supernova's got a TP. He's got enough mana for it, but kind of got a little bit too out of position there after the Creep Wave pull. Or I guess the skip is more accurate there. Bottle queued up for Laurel. Asgold as well, queuing up the bottle.
I completely forgot, actually. You can play Axe Morpheo with Ricky, huh?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing.
What, can you go inside Ricky, and can Ricky go inside someone else?
I think the Dota server will crash if you do that.
It's like when you type Google on Google?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's like when you try and do Dream Within a Dream, you know, it's a little bit too complicated. It's just cheap writing, right?
Right, it is
Dream a
really
Dream a
cheap.
Dream. No. Good movie, but cheap writing there.
He's done better films.
Yeah.
Probably his weakest film, actually.
Like, we get it. It's a good gimmick. Stop repeating it.
He's so proud of himself. Well, it's the same as a Memento, like, oh, I forgot what happens. Yeah, we know.
We know.
That's why you have pictures all over your room.
I still like it. I think the editing was clever in that one, at least.
Yeah, it was an awesome movie.
I think if you watch that for its editing, you're still good.
I agree. I just think his wife is insufferable, so I don't know why that's
I agree, and also the action scenes of him running around like
awful.
the cars.
Really
Was just
badly
like, what is this?
That's where you got the idea for the Dark Knight.
what is this? Like a film podcast all of a sudden?
Sorry.
Okay.
Now, in the bottom lane, a bit of pressure from Notice and DSA, because honestly, NP doesn't do much against Ricky. He went for a Blightstone, which reduces some of the armor. But it's great brace armor. And top lane, they're going for Cabal instead. That's another advantage, of course, of that Cinder Brew. Force Major, though. Now, he is not able to outrun Rari, and Rari, capable of surviving this, beats Force Major, gets a counter kill. They both went for the 1-1-1 build, so this was the point of inflection in the lane. Still a win for BVP, because of course you get the kill in the first blood. And usually I would say, well, you know, carry kills matter more than offlaner kills, but in this case, Brewmaster really wants that farm.
Yeah.
You are so useful with farm as Brewmaster. You have so many builds that you can go for on this hero, and this hero really scales nicely into late game now that you have the talents. So it's not a problem anymore.
And crucially, even with the Fatal Bolt now level 2, reducing his damage by 18% on the PL, already base damage pretty decent, right? But because this gives you bonus agility on the Phantom Rush, it also really reduces, it makes Fate Bolt stronger. So Rubik lives a lot longer than he really should, which Celebrity allows him to get a couple extra last hits in. He's out of regen already on PL. That's basically the point I was going to make. He's out of regen in this lane.
Here's a question. I know the chat will correct me, by the way, just to make sure what is the correct one. But do you know what happens if I Phantom Rush and I lose that buff and Fate Bolt's still on me? Do I still get the original attack speed debuff? Or sorry, attack damage debuff?
It's always percentage based.
Okay. So it will change.
It'll change. Yeah, it works against Morphling in that way, in that same way as well. Otherwise, Morphling would be like full strength, right, and then take the hit.
Ah, right. Yeah, because otherwise Fate Bolt will counter you so hard.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, thank you for that.
Yep. Yeah, it's percentage based, just on what you currently have, on what your stats are. Whatever this gray number is, and whatever the level of Fade Bolt it is, that's what it's going to go down here. Speaking of going down, Koval is going to at least get the Inkswell down onto Rari. That's going to maybe save his life, but with the urn applied, he's going to be able to live for now. Celebrity now in a bit of danger. Telekinesis level 1. That's going to stun up Koval as well. As Force Major will pick up the kill onto him.
Celebrity might actually survive here.
Yeah, he could.
There's Phantom Rush. We still have Cinder Brew, which of course will slow down. There we go.
We don't have any spells, though.
Playing with the vision really well to make sure the passive can't come out. Yeah, they can't trigger the Cinder Brew, but I think Celebrity's fine. Why are you playing so aggressively? He still has the Drunken Brawler to get the extra evasion, but you need to heal back up.
All right, healing pop there. Unfortunately, when Force Major does secure that kill onto Koval, it's crucially out of range of the urn, so he doesn't get the 2 charges. Otherwise, maybe they actually turn on at the PL there. So a little bit unlucky. Nice shards, nice, what are these called? Trees onto Supernova. As top lane there, going to get a second kill. Rari a little bit low, but yeah, he's going to have a healing south courtesy of his support, so he's good to go here.
He did commit to that Cinder Brew build in the end, it seems like. Or maybe it might be a Division build. I like the choice in the crit early. I think a lot of brews that they go for Cinder Brew, they still try to go and max Thunderclap right after. And 1 point in crit is such a high value because you get a chance of evasion, especially now that it works as a passive. Because, of course, the Drunken Brawler now actually might crit. Talk about Brewmaster, he's going to die in the top lane.
Good catch.
And there we go. Just a little Inkswell combo with a Grimstroke. And the Phantom Rush, and Brewmaster just can't really last that, unfortunately.
Yeah, that cooldown as
so
well.
quick, our camera couldn't catch it.
It's fast, especially with Phantom Rush. You move so fast, don't you?
I would have. It's impossible to catch.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Maybe impossible for me. We'll see. Supernova having a decent time as well in this bottom lane, going straight into the Witch's Blade, so it's going to be just damage out from really the off-lane Furion. I think that's A-okay, as long as you can convert that damage into objectives, whether that be an early Roche with your squad, if we go for something like, I don't know, a Medallion or something, a couple of towers here and there as he's already getting the push started with the 5-minute wagon, and a creep skip here courtesy of Ladan to make sure they can get as much damage as they can into the tier 1 tower. Churians around here to soak up plenty of harass from the tower, but hey, I mean, look at this. Fire Spirits onto the wagon, extremely effective, as that thing does not attack very quickly whatsoever.
And it's allowing Ricky to take all the last hits despite the fact that they should be defending this tower.
Yep.
No, I was like, nah, dude, I'm farming. Oh, no, he messed up there. He actually
yeah.
could have taken the creep with a Blink Strike there. Big mistake.
Nah, that's okay.
Yeah, dance, dude. Let's see, like we didn't notice you just missed 2 last hits, dude. What are you doing playing in competitive? Missing 2 whole hits.
I can't believe that.
That's 100 gold.
Honestly, just disband the team. If Twitch chat were coaches.
Oh.
Top lane in trouble here is Celebrity. Koval continuing to fight here versus them. We don't have the Urn of Shadows, which counts as the spell damage. So Celebrity, yeah, kind of getting body blocked by Koval. And he is going to die to the likes of Rari, level 6 already. So he's got the Juxtapose, Drunken Brawler, giving him a bit of move speed, but not enough to outrun his fate. The stroke of fate from Koval.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yep. I love the Grimstroke lines as well. And the Celebrity, yeah, he had a good laning stage, but now he's starting to play a bit extra aggressive. You have to realize that Brew, you don't have level 6, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ironically, Brew becomes kind of weak in certain matchups, but right before he hits level 6, right? Around level 5. Because everyone is strong enough to tank his Cinder Brew stupidity. But now, as on top of that, you don't have the Primal Split, which you kind of need to fight now.
That's exactly right. I mean, you think about a lot of other lanes, like level 3 is a big power spike, for example, the Grim or a Darkseer lanes, right? Especially with a Jug. Askel's going to go right inside of those cogs, wants his kill into TSA. He does have an Icarus dive. He's not even going to die, as Notice will rotate on over as well. Double Blink Strike here, and into the Tricks of the Trade. DSA getting the kill there. This does, again, give a little bit more space to Supernova, so he's just going to go full push mode. Is he going to get this tower with this push? Not quite.
I think so, dude.
You think?
I think so. I don't know if they're quite interested. Like, Ricky walks in, and Supernova's like, okay, try to D-push me, dude.
He's level 6, so, you know.
He deals damage, but he's really bad against, well, pushes. Because look at that. That's why people started building Battle Fury on Ricky, just so he could hit creeps a bit more efficiently. Oh, we have Promos put on Celebrity. He doesn't want to use it, though.
No, definitely not.
Oh, but the illusions might just force him. No, thank God. That was close.
It was a little close. Yeah, DD in for DSA. That's the whole reason he went mid, to snipe the bottle rune away. Do we have any stacks now? We do. A couple of stacks for Askold. Arcane Rune's real nice. That'll allow him to maybe farm 1 extra camp if he wants to. And he is going to decide. Okay. Mid tower then, Ladan soaking experience. Laurel, though, is, starting to chunk the tier 1 tower. I mean, with stats alone, that's a lot of damage.
They killed Force Major by accident with the Wrath of Nature.
Yeah, they did.
And now you go, all right, let's push top tower. I did my work in bottom, but this is the one I'm committing to, apparently. Celebrity walks in, Thunderclap, watch it annoy him. Yeah, the silence on Celebrity,
He's
though.
just dead.
He doesn't have promo split because of the silence. What was that play?
Not a very wise play to make there. It seems like I doubt he's tilted already this early on into the game, but that does kind of seem like a play you'd make when you're tilted, right?
Yeah, that was the kind of play where you go like, I TP, I thunderclap him, and then
I just
profit.
died. Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't like an idea to deal with him.
They're going to lose the tower. Rari has to make that. Laurel actually dodging. Wow, I didn't know that dodged the Phantom, but I guess it makes sense because you're invulnerable in that stage. Does that mean you can vacuum a Morphling mid-waveform? Because you can vacuum a Storm Spirit.
I'm actually not sure about that one, genuinely. Because I mean, I know you're invulnerable, and now vacuum can. I guess so.
Yeah.
Would make sense, right?
Wonder when we're going to see that. Now there's another one where I can point out my favorite Darkseer interaction.
It's his favorite Darkseer interaction.
It's a good hero. Fun hero to watch. Regen Rune here for our Morphling getting back to full
Go to
HP.
something net worth.
Yeah, sure. It's concerning. PL already this far ahead. He can kind of fight early, especially with Diffusal Blade. It's not the strongest this game, considering we've got plenty of strength heroes here and a couple of agi heroes not really famous for their int gain, but which is more mana to burn and damage. But it's good for killing at least the Morphling, as the hookshot's going to miss, but that's okay because they're going to have the Stroke of Fate. They barely connect that one, make that Ink Swell onto Laurel, but he did get off the strength gain in between the stuns. So they could continue to push here. No hookshot available for Ladon. Asgold, only one of the staffs here for the Orchid. And they got 4 heroes here. Do we have a Supernova? We do not. It's only level 5 for DSA, but Asgold taking lots of damage regardless here with the Cinderbrew as well. He's going to continue burning down.
That's a pretty. Cinderbrew did a lot of damage.
That's a good
maxed
combo.
already. Yeah,
maybe they should have sent the Phoenix top, huh?
Maybe. Well, I think the Rubik with Fable is also really useful. Hey, you take the tower. We already justified, right, with Rubik against PL so good.
Yeah, true.
And again, Morphling by Laurel, just an impressive playmaker, honestly. Like, usually the Morphling mid plays more of a greedy win condition role. Not this case, not last game either. He's just playing full aggression, allowing Ricky to have much more farm than he has any right to be honest. But the Fusel Blade finally came out on PL, and the farm still favors IPG for this early mid game. So they're going to be able to fight you before you're ready to fight them, honestly.
Riku's nearly got that Battle Fury, 3 or 4
But then
components.
once you get Battle Fury, you're still not ready. You still need
No,
Ags.
no, of course not. You 100% need Ags, and
Right,
even a damage item by then, I would say.
For the next solid 6-7 minutes, you're going to be farming on Ricky. And that's where IPG really breaks you, right? When they have Orchid on the NP, or Witchblade actually, rather, because Orchid's on Asgold.
Orchid on the Storm, yep.
Yeah, and
which
then
is up.
the Diffusal Blade on the Phantom Lancer.
And he's going to be looking to fight as well, going for the Hood of Defiance. Great builds. Yeah, you need to, absolutely. But it's also not a bad item on him whatsoever.
Yep.
And it allows him to engage in these early fights, especially if they're going to be a bit of the longer fights. That's where PL is really going to start to outshine these enemies.
Yep.
Notice he's looking to create a bit of space for himself, recognizes that they need this tier 1 tower down, and sometimes you got to get your own hands dirty, position 1 players. Get out of that jungle, start hitting some towers.
Ricky hates it. It's like, what do you mean I can't just endlessly farm the jungle?
Oh, he's got to hit some towers, because IPG, they hit towers better than you do, and they're going to be able to cut off your access to those creeps that you want to hit.
No, there's the difference between NP this game and lack of NP last game, right? I was right about just pick an MP5 at least. It's working perfectly. It's a 3 as well. So
it's a 3, so it's got real damage because we've got the Witchblade as well as the Storm Orchid timing.
Yep.
I don't believe Storm has showed on the map. In fact, I believe that's probably the case because we have a Smoke of Deceit along with the Hookshot both ready to go. Who is our victim bot lane? It's going to be DSA. He's going to be dead here. Yeah, Soul Burn for sure. Down he goes. That's the Orchid reveal. Not the worst one to be dying. He should be the one farming here anyway, so he's doing his job.
Yep. So with what's the build right now actually for the Morphling that he's going for? Is he going for the E-Blade build? Or is he going for the Scott?
E-Blade.
Okay, so same Space Creation build for Morphling as last game. Appropriate this game.
It makes sense, yeah.
The only issue is that with Orchids now coming on Storm and such, and obviously that being a 0 cost point item, you're going to struggle a bit more than last game, right? Because last game you could afford to wait for your BKB a fair amount, just go for the really expensive E-Blade, which makes you a really huge offensive threat, but no defensive capability whatsoever.
That's right.
This game you're going to be punished for that.
And just to really take that, make it clear, right? To make it clear, compared to last game, right? Laurel was playing obviously versus Asgold. Asgold last game, his first item, his big power spike was that E-Blade, which he had after the Boots of Travel, so 18 minutes in, right?
Yeah.
This game, he's actually been beat to the punch to his first item, and it's an item that is extremely deadly, right?
Exactly.
For the same reason that the E-Blade is, because you E-Blade onto Phantom, and that's a really great counter to the Morphling here. Not just because of the damage, but because of the silence especially. And
the cast point of the silence, right? The fact that you can actually immediately cast it compared to the
even better.
Grimstroke.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's why, I mean, even this game, the BKB is obviously a necessity. Otherwise, you could also consider the Lincolns, but since Morphling has to play as the early game Space Creator, I think BKB is the only option, really.
I like it. He's nearly there.
He's getting close to, but you need to... This next 4 minutes, I would say, are the hardest for VP right now.
I would even say it's make or break, to be honest.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
I think this game falls apart. Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily the hardest, but it's like, it's make or break. Because, I mean, like, hit creep faster. Oh, they're going to catch one. It's the Brewmaster Celebrity. He's not going to be able to get the ulti off. He knows, but he's also not going to be able to leave. I don't know, because it's like, you know, space-making deaths like this, they suck, but it's not like a hard move to make, right?
Yeah, but to be fair, he didn't die push. I mean, I guess he died pushing the lane, but it was the easiest lane to push out. That's supposed to be the safe farm, according to your map.
Oh,
They're actually
all
gonna
right.
fight this. Okay, with Ricky, just the Battle Fury picked up. That's going to be enough barely to kill Ladon. And
Double
notice,
cogs.
not actually bad. Oh, you're farming the enemy's cogs while you put your cogs
The jump,
there.
though?
The Morphling could be in trouble. He only has a bounty rune in his bottle. That's not going to be enough. There's the power of the Orchid and the Witchblade, by the way.
Yeah, it's super strong, actually, and this Grimstroke as well is a fantastic follow-up. He's not so great for your initiation, except for the Inkswell, obviously, but this is why he excels so much, in particular, with like an Earth Spirit, right? Because you give the Earth Spirit the Inkswell, he lands the stun, Inkswell stuns him to follow up. In the meantime, you send the Phantom on over.
Yeah, you have so many ways to catch it.
It's like, it's so easy. Like, it's about ease of execution.
That's why you need BKB, right?
It is. Even a Manta style, I think this game's not really going to be enough.
It's a good idea afterwards, maybe, you know, to get an extra dispel. Oh, it's nice, but right now you need that BKB because on top of that, there's a before and after when you buy a BKB, right? The Morphling, once he gets BKB, will become the strongest hero in the game for like a solid 2-3 fights, just because of that. So
yeah, and that's going to really suck for the Storm, right? He's gonna have
don't
to
go Yules. Please tell me that's not a Yules build.
It is.
I'd much rather see the BKB.
Wait. We saw this in the Western European region.
Who was it?
I don't remember.
Actually, they're ganking the Ricky.
They are.
Noticed. He has the Blink Strike, tricks to the trade too. Oh, he has a bird to get to. And in fact, now it's Ladonna's in trouble. This is promo split used.
Boulder Hurl. What?
Hurl the boulder.
They did that's what it is. It's Hurl Boulder. They're going to find him.
Okay.
Ladon is in trouble now as well. Tricks to the trade. This is going to be 2 kills here as the gank is going to fail. Stolen Inkswell is a
Did you have a
beautiful
stroke
spell.
by saying that? Oh,
No.
Boulder Hurl.
Boulder Hurl.
Oh my goodness.
That's like, you know, like stun tossed, Boulder Hurl.
No, you're right. You're using the passive phrasing.
Yeah. What do you mean? That's my favorite ability.
I thought you were having a stroke.
No.
I was worried for a second there.
No, Hurl Boulder is what the Mud Golems have, and it's what the Earth Burling has.
Yeah, it's
that's
true.
That's the ability name. They hurl a boulder.
Yeah, they do hurl a boulder. But when they boulder hurled.
Boulder hurled. H-U-R-L-N, I think.
Are you?
Right?
Why?
Because that's how you say it.
Is that what the word is?
That's like the current tense. Yeah.
I don't think that's correct. I think it's hurled.
I could be wrong. Who knows? It's only my first language. DSA running away. He's going to be able to get rid of that Inkswell.
How
The
did he
Phantom
got
Rush
rid of
after him. Supernova committed because they're going to TP in the Rubik. They did actually connect onto one. And they have the smoke screen. So close, but it's okay because they're going to be set up for the kill and return onto Rari. All in exchange for Supernova. Absolutely. Celebrity now chasing. Unfortunately, Drunken Brawler not going to be enough to catch up. Koval uses his own Inkswell now. Ladon does have that hook shot, not power shot, to try and counter-initiate here, but he's not going to get the chance. 2 heroes dead in exchange for the Phoenix.
Okay, well, with that, IPG, they lose the PL, which I think is the biggest loss there. Honestly, VVP managing to hold their own somewhat. And I would like to see as well, just stop looking the past that. He just searched, I'm going to call you out. He just searched the past tense of hurl. Stop yourself. Stop yourself. Okay, wait, Ricky in trouble. E-Blade, good. Hook shot on top, silenced. The Rubik in trouble. He dies immediately to the Orchid, and Laurel is in a really bad position. He doesn't have enough mana for waveform. Nobody's here to help him. Nah, Laurel's done for.
He is.
That was a really big mistake after such a huge kill on the PL. However, the thing I wanted to check out was Ricky. How far away is he from the Ags? 1,600 gold away. Once he gets that, they're ready to fight. So it's not that bad. It's not that bad here for them. The only thing is that losing the Morphling like this for free, Laurel is not having the impeccable game that we had last time. Oh, actually, no, that's not true. Laurel is doing the exact same thing that happened last time, which is dying senselessly sometimes, trying to desperately create space for the Ricky. It's understandable, but not ideal.
All right, I was incorrect.
Yeah, I thought it was, of course, to be hurled.
Boulder has been hurled. Yeah. No, there's no hurl. You cannot.
I'm telling you, that was just.
I was wondering why you looked at me like that. I was like, excuse me. I'm pretty sure that's a word. It is not. All right, are we still going for this Yule Scepter? We are. I don't like that.
On the Morphling?
It didn't work.
Who do we see another? You're saying earlier.
Yeah, I can try and find.
What was the purpose of it?
It was for a dispel. Actually, it was.
I question why you would go for the Yules if for 1,400 more gold, just get the BKB, and it's a much better dispel, right?
A little bit more than 14.
Okay, we got the Ags on Ricky. This is a pretty big deal.
This is big,
How do you
actually,
fumble
yeah.
that fast?
Space created.
Yeah. Now you have a way.
Honestly, space created, right? Like this jug kill, or sorry, this PL kill, this morph kill here, this morph kill here, like all that time, right? The Riki farms.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of stupid, but I do this every single time just to drive the point home. Okay, they lose the team fight, they lose the morph, but Riki's farming, right? In this case, PL.
Oh, I heard a promo split.
Oh no, he was just throwing some beer.
Oh, okay.
That was a thunderclap noise.
No. He does the. I think it was baiting it out. Anyway.
Oh no, hook shot. They've actually hit Asgold here. That means there's no follow-up stun on the morph lane, which is going to be.
He got it in time. It's fine.
They're
counter initiating on Supernova, the Sprout. He's going to save himself, but they got the Storm much more importantly. The Hurl Boulder catches him. Now that strike, but he does have the ball lining to get away, so Asgold is not going to suffer the death. Only Clockwork dies. Most importantly, though, Morphling is alive. Even if you had to waste the Primal Split.
Yeah, 10-second BKB on the Furion is going to be used there, though that's a bit of a blow right now. They could potentially look for Roche off the back of this Aghanim Scepter for Riki, but he'd rather just be farming straight into the Daedalus.
Yep.
And I think that's going to be a good move there. Aghanim Scepter queued up now for Celebrity.
So huge.
Yeah.
But obviously Ricky's already online, so now the game is no longer easy for IPG, because Ricky can just do that. Ricky can fulfill the role now of the secondary space creator and allow Laurel to take the safe farm now. Because Ricky can easily go for not only the space creation by killing heroes, but also can go for the unsafe farm in the dead lane. Because, you have an axe now, you push it so quickly. Literally 2 hits to the wave and it's done for. So I think that here the VP.Prodigy's options have really expanded with this Ricky axe. And you're seeing now he's starting to really catch up to Phantom Line. So you farm so fast on that axe. It's incredible.
It is, yeah.
It's one of the most broken interactions of the game, that new axe Battle Fury.
Yeah, honestly, I think a decent way to balance it is to make sure that it just can't move anymore. Like, just get rid of, like, the pocket Riki thing.
Yeah, the pocket Riki is unnecessary. It'd still be really good, by the way.
It is, that's what I mean.
It's mostly the 2 hits that people buy it for.
It is, of course, and the ridiculous damage you get out from it here. I'm trying to find that game. I'm just going to give up. There's no way I can find it, yeah. But they lost with it, is the important part. And
the Yule's morph, that's fine. I mean, I believe you. It's not that great of an item for a single Dispel, right?
No, it's not.
Like, it's a cheaper Manta, but Manta's not good here. You'd rather BKB, so...
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah.
I wonder what his logic comes from for the Yules. I wonder if he's just trying to draw the aggro and really trust Ricky to be the damage. I mean, I guess with Pocket Ricky, it can kind of make sense. You go inside him, and Yules, and he has so much survivability.
Okay,
Ricky's safe the whole time.
I could see that. I mean, like, getting the extra 2.5 seconds versus a Clockwork is always nice, right? Because that buys a little bit of time for your team to ideally rotate over and help out. Like, there's cases for it, right? I mean, even if Ladan, make that DSA, can Icarus dive and split those cogs, split the battery salt rather, with the Morphling, that could be enough to turn the fight. Even if DSA dies, it's well worth his life.
Yep. Let's see.
It's a weird pickup, though, for sure.
I finally got to the point where you had Crystallis is going to be the next item for Noticed. Usually this is the build for Ricky, by the way. No longer Diffusal Blade or anything. Once you go for the Axe, you try to go for as many crits as possible, because you have 2 chances to get a crit, right, with the 2 hits. And against a PL, it is particularly useful. It's like Ember back in the Battle Fury days, where the more units you have in a specific area, the more damage the Ricky will do, because it's all about the cleave damage more than the actual single target damage itself. Then you go for the MP, jump into him, tricks to the trade immediately. Well played. Little trick on the Ricky, by the way. The tricks to the trade will hit immediately as you use it. So the best thing you can do to really optimize your damage is you Blink Strike, hit him once, and then right after you hit in the backswing animation, you tricks to the trade. And then you get 2 hits essentially like an Echo Saber. That's why, by the way, stop buying Echo Saber on Ricky. People in my pubs. Terrible.
What do you mean? You don't want to go Shadow Blade on him?
No, you don't go Shadow Blade.
Really? That's always what I buy on that guy.
For years in Dota 1, I thought that was the only way to build him, because I'm like, oh, if I get invisibility and invisibility, they can't see me with dust.
See you.
Joke's on you, nobody in Dota 1 bought dust, so it's fine.
They need a double dust.
Let's see. Celebrity still has the Primal Split.
Ladan?
I don't want to go in if I was them. They try to steal this Roshan. Good Supernova defensively.
Ladan
Hook shot! But
No.
he doesn't steal it in time. Laurel takes the H's instead. And they bought back with Supernova, not accomplishing much. Supernova completed on the Phoenix.
Rari's in trouble.
They're stopping Rari completely. He's been silenced for too long. Thinks of a smoke screen. But he finally double gangers himself to safety. That is not going to be really useful soulbind. And the Morph ends up killing Rari. There's the power of the Ricky Axe as well. Going for Cabal next. Trying to use the Shadow Amulet to get away. And he will use successfully. I think he'll TP in
just
time.
barely.
Well done.
I can't believe PL shows up to that fight. I mean, he's got heart, he's tanky, but they got lots of damage for you, my friend. And the issue in that engagement was, like IPG, they make the call, they make the all-in call, and in my opinion, as soon as that all-in doesn't work, and you've already wasted all of the mana on the Storm, which means he can no longer fight, you've lost Ladan, which is your greatest source of initiation and counter-initiation just behind the Storm. There's no more fight for you guys. There's no fight there that exists. They even buy back in Supernova. I mean, I like the call. I think it's a bold move to be making here and could potentially swing the events of this game in their favor. But you have to call it off. You got to know when to call it off there.
Yep. Yeah, that initiation by IPG, as you say, the initial idea of the Clockwork, especially low committal, fine.
Yeah, Storm
but
even, I think that's
you even
fine
force
too.
the Supernova, okay, great, right? And then after that, I agree with you, the PL. Especially because Smokescreen is so brutal, as we mentioned in the draft against PL, right?
Yeah.
Usually that wasn't a problem because PL was such a good counter to Ricky, because Ricky didn't have the Ags Battle Fury build.
Yeah, because Ricky's single target. What do you mean? He built Diffusal.
Exactly.
Ags Battle Fury. Why would I want Pocket Ricky? You know, oh, if only we knew back then.
Yeah, exactly. And that is one of the difficulties that I find that IPG is going to struggle with now. Smokescreen's brutal against PL. You have enough target, or you have enough clear, for his illusions. And you even have a Morphling who's kind of fulfilling that space creation role, which makes it really difficult for you to know who to target. Do I kill the Morphling, who's by far the hardest to kill in terms of HP, and I go for him first and murder him? Or do I ignore him and then I have to deal with his E-Blade, his shotgun, etc., etc.? It's kind of difficult.
I like this counter push, though. The push in response is we're going to get a quick pause from the side here of VPP. Phoenix taking a quick disconnect. They are going to have to back away from this tower, though, because the cores have already committed their TP. Sec lag, sorry. Just waiting for the ping to settle. Game number one. Still very much so up in the balance, though, I would say, Avo. I mean, right now, for the next couple of minutes, VPP, especially when we get a BKB up. I mean, here's the Yule Scepter, by the way, on the Morph. We'll see if that ever comes into effect here.
Yeah, you know what?
Like, I'm willing to see it out. Again, the only reason I don't like it...
You know, I'm going to say, yeah, sure.
The only reason I don't like it is because it didn't win before, and it was in Western Europe as well for lower division.
I just don't see the advantages over the
If
BKB.
anyone can remember that game, please let me know in the chat. Because I was watching it the other game, and the Capsters had a very similar reaction to what you had, which is why not just go for it? Like, literally, like that's the thing, and I agree.
Was Purge cast in that game?
No, I believe it was Cap, perhaps. I think it was Cap for sure on one of them.
I want his Weatherman segment on this Yule Scepter, because I remember his Weatherman segment at the Alc was one of the funniest things ever. It was like watching a kid coming prepared to the debate.
This was Alc Offlane, by the way.
Yeah, it was Alc Offlane, which Purge absolutely hates, and I've never seen him so passionate about something. It was awesome. It was a great segment. Anyway, yeah, I would like to see the logic behind why this is better than a BKB. I mean, besides the fact that it's cheaper, which I don't think is a justification
Like,
enough.
if you're against an Ursa and you needed to dispel, and also Ursa got a really good
Right, if there was
start
some
in his
offensive
lane.
capabilities here,
Yeah.
I'd agree with you, but I don't see those offensive capabilities.
No, me neither. That's the really weird part about it for me.
I mean, now with the Yules and Cycle, you're true Tornado Alley, and you just get half the team is out of the team fight, right? For like the beginning, and then you just kill whatever's left.
Yeah, I had the unfortunate circumstance of building Yule Scepter on Troll Ogre Magi once and accidentally multicasting 4 people in the fight, which lost us the fight.
Yeah.
But it's like, well, we needed one versus the Ursa, but...
We're going to see the power of the Axe in this next team fight as well. That's double promo split. It's super difficult to deal with. So, yeah, Celebrity's looking kind of strong. Morphling recovered nicely. He's matching the Storm, and Ricky's matching the PL. I think VPP's quite happy with this. Of course, this time IPG has much more late game potential than last time. It's not like they lose given a certain point of the game. They can fight this, but honestly, I don't find the PL versus Ricky matchup to be a good one.
No, I think PL needs way too many items, and we need, like, a lot of help from his team. Like,
What is he even going for, actually?
PL?
Yeah.
I believe he's going for the... okay, it was going to be the... Well, he has the heart, right? And now he's got the Manta. Going for the Manta.
Okay, so I'm hoping Scotty after, because Scotty is kind of a necessity this game.
Yeah, I think you just need the stats. Not only then are your illusions basically unkillable, but they also do a lot of damage by then. I would like to see 4 staffs. Like, okay, there's one. Shout out to you, Ladan. You always know what to build. But this Glimmer should be a force, in my opinion. I really don't see any case for the Glimmer Cape this game. The Magic Burst, of course, from Morphling. There's a case to be made there, but I think 4 staff is more of your pressing concern, considering the second item for Morphling was the Yule Scepter.
No, but I do...
Bottom. Supernova being forced out.
If when the second item is Yules, you go, do I care about this hero
Is this
any longer?
Morphling even, like, I don't even need to worry about this guy. Don't worry about it.
Now Ricky's starting to hit really hard, though, now. He has Daedalus
He
ready.
is. Yeah, Daedalus number 1. DD bottled up for him for a nice rainy day.
And he is going BKB himself. Oh, so Laurel can always just turn into PL and just play this game that way, right? And he goes, well, I'm Morphling, but I'm not really a Morphling.
Oh, no. Ladan's like, wait a second. That's not mine.
Runs away, the Glimmer gave him 4 stat,
There you
that's
go.
it.
All right,
That's
there's the
all your
Glimmer
save used in a single hero.
Yeah, I mean, again, we just need... That's what you need against Riki, really. It ain't bad as well versus the Brewmaster if you can kind of force away from him and kite out one of these Brewlanes a bit further, but...
I love that Brew nowadays can just go for the Ags build, and once you build the Ags, you go, all right, guys, what do I need? To live? Great, that's all I need,
yeah,
really.
Aeon Disc, and to be honest, I still like the idea of building auras on him, though, because those persist through the...
yeah, particularly Vlad's, because it's cheap and effective.
Because it's very cheap, and it even got buffed, right?
Yeah, now it gives you armor again, thank God.
Yeah, and damage.
Well, yeah, but like the armor to me was, when they took away the armor and gave it to the mech, I was like, why would anyone ever buy this item again?
Okay, fair enough.
And then they put the armor back in, I was like, yes!
Fair enough. Yeah, that's the item I wouldn't mind seeing. Yeah, it's a decent aura, and why not? DD Rune is going to get picked up for Riki. His next item, of course, going to be replacing this GG branch, and slotting into that BKB most likely.
Look at that efficiency. Still has the GG branch, still has the circlet.
Yeah, plus 4 stats. Plus 4 stats,
Plus
right?
3.
Plus 3, you're right. I thought
NA math.
NA maths.
What's 2 plus 1?
2 plus 1 is 4. 2 plus 2 is also 4. You know. Listen, I forgot. I thought circlet was 2, all right? Oh my goodness.
That would still be 2 plus 1.
Sometimes casting with Avo is like having Twitch chat correct you all the time.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me, caster.
I wouldn't make fun of your math,
It's
but you
not-
said 2 plus 1.
It's not skeleton walk. That's what Clinks has, even though the abilities are quite literally the same thing.
It is skeleton walk.
I know.
What are you preferring?
Shadow walk on Bounty Hunter.
Hey,
Yeah.
look, you know though.
Now I know.
Now it's working.
Yeah, shout out to that guy.
Celebrity.
Good shot. There's the jump. Celebrity in trouble. He can't get the ulti off when he's double silenced. BK beat up his Ascold as well, but the E-Blade is
Just
keeping him
wanna
alive
see
a
the
bit longer.
process.
Down he goes. Hook shot now. They found notice, but there's going to be now the Supernova. Rari getting very, very quick to work onto this one. Down it goes as Soulbind up his notice. That means he cannot actually get off Tricks of the Trade. Finally, he's free to do so, but Rari tanking quite a bit with the Daedalus, though. That's some serious damage. Laurel, in the meantime, caught again. 2 people dead because of this Phantom's Embrace. At the very least, they bought back as well by Celebrity, but there's no way they want to keep taking this fight. There's the Dust for notice. Oh, unfortunately, the Vortex on cooldown, so they're not going to be able to punish that one any further. But a 4-man wipe, all in exchange for Ladon in favor of IPG.
What an awesome soulbind there by the Grimstroke. What an awesome soulbind. Really, really solid. That, as you mentioned, stopped the Tricks of the Trade from coming out, and that's all your team fight is Riki, right?
Yeah,
so
kind of is.
Stopping that meant that the Supernova was not very useful, even though Supernova, I think, was questionable to begin with, because you already lost the Brewmaster already. It was okay.
I could
But the
see
soulbind canceled.
the point of it, because again, I mean, like, let's just examine that. Unfortunately, we can't do replays, so just imagine, use your imagination here.
No, watch the towers. fall. I don't
Well,
wanna
the
use
towers died, right?
But let's draw on the map.
I just want to, all right, whatever. He got it in the choke point, right?
he got
And
it
that's
in the choke
exactly where you want to be using Tricks of the Trade as well.
I agree. That's
Like-
it was a supernova that could have worked, but it was still not the safe, easy supernova. And the soulbind canceled that team fight completely.
I get that, but I don't think you can use Supernova as a safe one this game. Otherwise,
I guess.
the Riki can't get the damage because you just lack the control, especially without the Brewmaster, right?
Yeah, if your Brewmaster dies. That's why I'm arguing that I think if your Brewmaster dies,
All right,
just
there you
don't
go.
go in, right?
BKB. The Yule Scepter, by the way, didn't save him in that fight.
He's like, maybe they're right.
Maybe they were right after all.
Because he was considering something else before the BKB. I forgot. It was Scotty.
It was yeah, I have Scotty for sure.
And now he's like, well, I do need the magic immunity, especially because that will help you out against, well, everything, particularly the Storm, though. Now I just need to deal with the Soulbind. Oh, okay, yeah. If you kill Grimstroke, that's Soulbind gone. That's a solution.
Not bad. Oh,
Good.
Riki as well is not going to be able to find Ladon.
He has the Blink Strike talent, but even with that, it's not enough.
Yeah, just barely down to the low ground as well with those spider legs, thankfully for him. But the Rat is now starting. Supernova onto the bottom lane. He's going to just TP and leave, so see you guys later. And thanks for the free Tier 3 tower, by the way.
You need Basha on Riki now, I think.
Yeah, we do.
Because the BKB TPs are going to start humming out. Riki's a decent hero at stopping these kind of pushes, though, because he's a great mobility. But you do need the Basha for that. He's going for Rapier instead, which, honestly, this game kind of justified. I don't think it's crazy to go for the Rapier. You want that last little push.
After the Yule Scepter, right?
Yep. Especially because Morphling is starting to fall off, so you don't really have a secondary core.
Yeah, that's right. The Heart is a great way to counter the Morphling as well. Top lane Celebrity in trouble. He's quite tanky. He's going to go to the Soul Burn. Oh, no, but the Rocket Flare gets him. Oh, they tried to dodge a little bit of extra damage, but I believe Soul Burn is dealt as magic damage.
Yes, it amplified it by
so
a lot.
he amplified it by quite a bit. So kind of getting his ally killed there a little bit, unfortunately. Hook shot is ready for Ladon, but obviously they want to fight and punish the dieback here of the Brewmaster as he was caught farming a little bit too far. Roshan, unfortunately, is going to be up in around 90 seconds, so they won't be able to get a free Rosh out of this one for IPG, but that kill alone is going to help them extend their net worth lead now all the way past 12K.
Now IPG has a solid lead as well. Yep, with Basher on the PL, you need to get a good team fight off for VPP, and this time they don't have such a solid team fight, especially if Brewke's playing the way he is, which is kind of sacrificial. I don't think your sole team fight should be playing that way, honestly. You need him too much.
They might
Ricky
get this
can play
tower.
that way.
They're going to get this tower with the Great Treants. Oh, they nearly did. Those things are absolutely insane. By the way, in case you're like, he didn't even use Nature's Call on them, you don't need to.
It's a Sprout.
Yeah.
Once Sprout ends, yeah. So if you Nature's Call, you get the Treants plus the Greater Treants, and if you just let it end, you also just get the Greater Treants.
Yeah, it's really strong.
Which, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, but there was actually a thread on Reddit, which E definitely downvoted, where the Treants actually have a 1 BAT as opposed to 175
Yeah, that
BAT.
was a fogged tweet, if I recall.
That was a fog tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Which is crazy. So they messed up in the coding a bit, and they gave him the old BAT of like Treants, like, I don't know, 17 patches ago,
Yeah.
and instead of the current BAT of Treants, which is 175, which means they hit much faster, on top of having more damage.
They hit way faster. To put
They're
that
also
in,
much better with like Bloodlust or any sort of
yeah,
buffs.
yeah. To put that in comparison, most heroes have a base attack time of 1.7. Jug is improved at 1.5. With the old, I don't think Alchemist has a talent anymore, but Alchemist with level 3 Chemical Enrage and a 25 talent used to get that down to 1.1.
It was 1, I think.
And the Treants attack at 1.0.
Yeah, exactly. So Treants
So
are even faster than the best Alch.
Yeah, so just to let you know, that's how strong these things are.
Now currently Alch can only get it down to 1.2, I believe.
I believe that's correct as well.
They have Master Spell for that Glimmer Cape, so it's not that big a deal, but they don't want to chase after Rari. They just want to kill the chicken first.
Yeah, they got to be careful. Watch out for these boulders.
Oh, Master Spell, by the way, we haven't really spoken about this, but
Oh,
also
it's
deals
great.
with the illusions, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that's a good way to make sure the real PL is there. Celebrity just annoying a bit more. He still has the second.
Yeah, he's lifted actually the Grimstroke here, but Roche is not going down too quickly.
I mean, it's only Laurel.
Where's our Riki? He's not in the pit. He's actually scouted right here by the Sentry Ward. He's going to go in for a bit of damage. Look how quickly it falls with those red, beautiful crits on the Daedalus.
It was unique versus no Tekka's game too with the Yule Morph.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, Zumskin.
Yep, that guy watches a lot of Dota. Shout outs to you.
That. Even I didn't cast it. I'm casting both divisions.
I don't know if you cast lower division games in Europe, do you?
I do. Oh, no, that was upper division CIS.
Oh, was it?
Unique and no techies? That's both upper division.
Oh, yeah, it was. All right, there's the jump in. Ascol with the BKB. They're getting the Supernova out. This time around, they've got the Riki around to try and protect it. But Laurel on the backline, manning up with the supports. They will be able to get them away from the Supernova. Kobolo is going to go down Ladon as well as Riki cleans up both of the supports. Rari farming in the mid lane, but Supernova, he's dying. Notice going to jump over him. He's got a 10-second BKB active as well, as there's the buybacks out from both IPG supports, trying to get their way back into the fight. Laurel, he's got the E-Blade back up again. Could go back in. A Celebrity has now no use of the Primal Split number 2.
Let's see. Noticed. Want to go back in, but waiting for the Trickster trade cooldown. And IPG will hold their ground for now. Orphan walks in. Notice wants to punish this. Do they have the Trickster trade? They do. In the middle of a bunch of heroes. IPG has to retreat here from the circle of death as Koval is the target. They kill Ladon a second time. They want to go for Rari, but the damage is lacking. The Riki doesn't do enough, and he actually ends up dying himself.
Ooh.
Now without the Riki, you don't have the damage to finish off Rari. And the Phoenix will have to Yule Center himself defensively. No Icarus dive, so he'll also sacrifice himself. You did get at least 2 buybacks, 1 full dieback. That's not going to be enough. You lost your Riki there, and he doesn't have buyback either.
Yeah, that was brutal. And actually, guys, don't forget, Roshan was not taken after that fight, so that means IPG free to go right into Roche here. They did not actually end up getting the Roche kill whatsoever. They instead just decided to skirmish towards the mid lane. Buyback now from DSA. They're going to try and force it, but I don't know if they can really do this. Use the Solar Crest. There it is now. That's Roche is going to go down even faster. Here's Celebrity just walking in, trying to create some space for his team. He doesn't have buyback, though, and if he dies, it's going to be very punishing, but there's going to be now a Ink Swell on him, stunning up Rari. Very loud there, but Celebrity getting eaten alive. That's not going to buy enough time. He's dead now. There's going to jump forward on the Laurel, as he is going to be able to get off at least the Strength Morph. But now in trouble is Force Major. Ascol right onto him, just zipping circles around him. 3 dead without buyback now for VPP. They should go back and finish up this Roche. Supernova still looking for more. Now he's just going to push.
The fact that Morphling fell
By
off.
the way, Supernova.
Yeah, he just pushed that alone.
Yeah.
The fact that Morphling fell off, on top of the fact that you have an NP as your tertiary core, which VP doesn't have because they're really playing with the Brewmaster, is giving IPG a much bigger advantage here towards the late game. It doesn't really matter how great the Ricky versus PL matchup is, which it is. You're seeing him, he's killing him. Illusion escape, which is really lucky. The real issue here is that even if Ricky can murder the PL one-on-one, you can't deal with the rest of the team that is punishing you, and your team is doing absolutely nothing to help you out. So there, look, Tricks of the Trade deals with the Treants and Illusion so quickly, but you depend so much on that cooldown. You leave level 25 on Ricky. How far is he actually from level 25? 2 levels away.
That's pretty far.
Yeah, it's pretty far for this point of the game. They might be able to push a Rax right this.
Yeah,
I mean, you have Treants and Illusions? Come on.
Luckily, they can't rat anymore, but just with the sustained damage that they have, it's ought to be just more than enough here. Notice they didn't get out of there immediately, but at least able to clear the wave. PL in trouble here again, does have no Aegis, so a kill onto him is going to be extremely impactful. There's Supernova now used defensively as Supernova, the Treant Protector. They need to get out of there rather than Nature's Prophet. All right. Now they can go right back in, though. PL, he's back to full HP thanks to that heart. 4,000 HP, by the way, as they proc the Aeon Disc on the Brewmaster. Round 2. Rari.
Fade Bolt, a bit of annoyance for Rari, but Rari just doppelgangers himself to safety. And now they walk in, Ball Lightning. Okay, in the middle of the small screen. Now Great Askel has a BKB though. Stopping the Brewmaster, that's your initiation. Hookshot as well! Catching notice. They soulbound him, but he has the BKB. He's not bound to anything just yet, so he can still blink around. That's where the Tricks of Trade can come out. Koval died in the backlines, but they're all going for the Ricky. The Soulbind's finally finished, so Ricky can move around freely. And the Morphling is actually doing stuff. He's killing Supernova alone. Ricky joins him as well.
They're losing the base.
Trim Protect, the Nation Prophet, but the base is falling to the Treants, and they're not stopping this push whatsoever. DSA dies as well, as Storm comes in for the last kill, hoping for Ricky. Still has the Aegis anyway. PL still alive, that's Notice gone. Has buyback this time, go for the Rags! It's only a ranged Rags, the Treants are doing the work! And with the Abyssal Blade, they catch up to Morphling and should be able to finish him off. He's out of mana completely. Instead, Ricky protects him, but out of Rax, dude. Out of Rax, out of mine. They go for the Ricky finally. This is going to be the dieback and the GG, most likely.
Yeah, there it is.
As they call it, losing Laurel and Rubik along the way. IPG takes game number 2. And we're back to our tradition, Richie. It's game 3 time.
Game 3 time, yeah. As always, our tradition is going to be making the upper division cast start a little bit late on the day where they also have to get their COVID test. So just a great day for the studio talents over in Sweden, but great day for us as well, as we're going to have a game 3 between IPG and VPP. Great game out there, actually. Great team fights. Unfortunately, I think, yeah, like you said, Laurel just fell off a little bit too hard there at the end. I was a little bit questioning, like I had a question mark when I saw the heart pick up first for Rari, but in retrospect, it was actually the perfect item.
Could have nullified the Morphling, though I think a lot to do with that was the 2,800 gold you sunk into a Yule Scepter to do nothing. Whereas if he had gone BKB, he would be going for the Scotty immediately. I like that he went for the Space Creation build. I think in the late game, though, he fell off a bit too hard. Similarly, Celebrity, when it was starting to get minute 30, I'm questioning why you, the only initiation your team has and the only sort of team fight source you have, is still going in and pushing the dead lane or pushing the really unsafe farm, right? You shouldn't be doing that as Celebrity. One of the advantages of Brewmaster is that you only really need experience and gold, and a bit of gold for the Ags. That's it, and you're good to go, right? So why are you the one that's farming the quote-unquote unsafe farm when you don't need that farm whatsoever, and the push can be done equally as well by the Ricky or by the Morphling who have escape mechanisms, whereas you don't. So I would say at this game, VP did commit a couple mistakes there towards the mid-late game, which kind of lost him the advantage. And then, well, IPG, same as last time. They had the slower draft. It just took them a long time to get on. But once they got online, it was perfect.
And I should say as well, something I definitely noticed there, especially in that last team fight, is Ladan is, and the rest of IPG, in my opinion, they are so good. Yes, just generally at Dota, very true. But also they're very strong at being able to identify like who they need to take down in fights first. It was always the Brewmaster. Brewmaster. And who was going on? Ladan. How many times did we probably say hook shot onto Ladan, right? Yep. At least 3 times, and very, very crucially as well at the end, after the buyback.
Yeah, exactly. When that happened, I was like, okay, that's a bit too much, right? And I feel like in those plays, IPG kind of showed their consistency a bit of a VPP. They do have a bit more experience competitively than a VPP, and it's starting to show a bit. But VPP has the craziness and creativity of youth. As crazy as whatever's going on behind us.
Don't worry about it.
Insanity. And as we teleported right into the same spot in traffic as before, we are going to teleport right into a pause where we have some ads for you waiting as we take a 10-minute break waiting for IPG versus VPP to start their game 3.
Indeed, guys. We'll see you then.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
You ready? Huh? Hey, he's a good boy. Huh? You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
My name is Jordan Gilbert, aka Nothing.
Hi, my name is Sue Lee. My handle is Smix. I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really, really goes a long way, and it always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help.
I encourage everyone in the community, anytime they see bullying, anytime they see someone getting called names, I encourage you to step up and say something.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
Hello, guys, and welcome. We're here with the last game of today for the lower division. The lower division Eastern European DPC League. I was really close to calling.
Don't worry,
ESL
Abo. We're still only in week 5, of 6, and I'm sure you'll get it for next time.
There we go.
Welcome back to the ESL 1 lower division DPC Eastern European edition, powered by Intel. We are to be your hosts, your drivers, your co-pilots here, so you can strike on Avo Plus here by my side, my navigator. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, as we're now about to get underway with game number 3 between IPG and VPP. Avo, we've got a draft underway. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
You guys can see why. This is why he drives.
This is why he drives. That's also why Avo hosts.
Actually, yeah. Rubik and Clockwork are the 2 picks by IPG, whereas VP.Prodigy go for the Darkseer Grimstroke. Okay, very different choices to what we've seen until now. I mean, the Clockwork has been the no surprise, honestly. Ladon is incredible on the hero, so yeah, pick it more, please. I'm assuming it's still going to be Ladon playing it. We did see Koval on the Rubik 4 last time, so it seems like these 2 supports are a bit more of a mix. So Koval plays 4 and 5, and Ladon plays Clockwork. So I think it's a nice little mix of.
That was a great joke. I was drinking hot coffee, and you should know better than to hit me with a punchline like that when I'm doing that.
Darkseer and Grimstroke by VP.Prodigy are also decent because they also fulfill very similar roles. These heroes, I mean, because they're both carry buffers, right? Grimstroke is great with a carry because, of course, Soulbind makes whatever the carry throws even better. The Inkstroke gives the carry movement speed. The Ghost kind of enables the carry, right? So it's very, very useful. And Darkseer, obviously, with Iron Shell Surge, he enables a lot of carries that are usually not a meta. For example, Lifestealer actually works really nicely with Darkseer. So these 2 heroes fulfill similar roles, and they work with also similar heroes, right? Like PA, Ricky go well with both of these. Lifestealer, Juggernaut go well with both of these. So I like the synergy that VP.Prodigy has.
Something as well like a Jug is not bad to have. An Alchemist, famously during our last TI, I think it was Secret running that one.
Yep.
So yeah. Yeah, good point, because I tend to like to comment on that. Synergy between supports is really important, because your supports are going to be the ones that, your mid laner is going to have good experience. Of course, that's always important, but everyone talks about that, right? No one really talks about how important it is for your supports to have some sort of early power spike, and even better when it's together, right? So you can continue to buff and fight really early on when it's 12 to 17 minutes, that period where most cores are you're playing 4v5, or realistically 4v4, right? So having 2 supports that have synergy together that can go in. My favorite is always your Clockwork Earth Spirit.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Or sorry, Grimstroke Earth Spirit, right? For example, but Clockwork Earth Spirit, same thing. But yeah, so stuff like that. I always think that's going to be super important here.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, okay, and into the ban phase already. We're going to be taking out the Storm, AM, Puck gone, Void Spirit gone. Lots of mid laners banned out, and in fact, exclusively mid laners being banned out. Asgold, the carry here for IPG. These guys, they had high expectations going into this tournament, and they still are somewhat in contention for them as well. They were hoping for a top 2 finish, as I think every single team, to be honest, when you're a competitor at this stage, at this echelon, you're going to be aiming for, of course, the top finish, and unfortunately I think they're going to be a little bit far from there, but they're still fighting to make sure that maybe they have a chance, likely not.
To not get relegated.
Yeah, to not get relegated. Exactly.
I love the Spur Breaker as well. Combos well with Darkseer, but also with Grimstroke, so we're continuing with this extreme synergy that we have in this draft. Actually, I absolutely love this lineup. VP.Prodigy is a really solid lineup. And then, this is the equivalent. Have you ever watched the chess players that go, they think a million possibilities, and they're like, you know what, I'm just going to castle, right? And
that was a very famous Hikaru clip.
Hikaru, yeah, he's very famous.
He is probably the #1 chess player for Blitz.
For Blitz, yeah, he's the top player for Blitz. Also, really entertaining personality. But anyway,
he is,
this is what essentially IPG does. Oh, they have so many combos. How do we start the combo? Just Wraith King.
Just Wraith King.
Right, it's the easiest way against combo heroes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason he's so popularly picked against some things like, for example, the Faceless Void, LC. Even against the Invoker, I don't mind it here. Invoker for VPP. That is going to then be mid lane Laurel Invoker. Should be an exciting match. I suppose this game you're still just going to need to go for the Quas Exhort just so you have a lot more kill threat versus the Wraith King thanks to the EMP. But I think it's a bit flexible here in terms of what you're going to build. For now, I like that analogy quite a bit. To be honest, that's very funny.
I've been watching a lot of Hikaru clips.
And you know what? I just brought it back to let everyone know that your rating in chess is what is it again?
Radiant
200?
He's 200 on chess.
I was quite proud I reached 200. I was at 0.
Hey, good for you. You know what? You play that game casually, and we need people that to fill out the lower.
Still higher than my MMR.
in Dota. That is
That's not
absolutely
true.
right.
That's not true.
That is-
Invoker pick for VP.Prodigy. This is not so much to synergize with the picks you already have. Though it does go well. You know, I have a bit of it's the same tempo, but the idea is here Invoker to deal with Wraith King, and more importantly, VP.Prodigy has a bunch of initiation but no counter initiation. So Invoker is a great source of that.
That's a good point.
And the Tornado helps a lot in that, especially against Wraith King.
Spirit Breaker is not bad for this role. Neither is the Darkseer, but neither are going to be as fast as a pre-invoked Tornado, which is instant setup for you. I also like the idea of late game, you know, just the thought lingering in the back of my mind. I'm going to go ahead and snatch it down here and burn it down to you. And that's Invoker, Cataclysm into Darkseer wall or Vacuum.
Yep.
That is like, especially into the wall, because it provides, I think, like a 30% move speed slow for like a second. When you walk through the wall or get pulled into it.
Yeah, through the wall, yeah.
And so if you can get a good vac wall, that's not quite a guaranteed Kata rampage, but it's looking very promising.
The difficulty of the vac wall is they usually need something else on top of the wall slow to really set up the Cataclysm. Because you can't, like, the problem with Cataclysm is you can't just go and put them in the one Sunstrike, right? Which is what you'd love to do. You want to vacuum and then put all the Sunstrikes at once, and you still have to somehow stun him for 1.6 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's not the most guaranteed combo, though I agree it's a very good
Sure, but like harking back to our initial discussion about synergy between the Grim Darkseer, Stroke of Fate after a
right,
vacuum
exactly.
is fantastic.
Or
That's
even a charge, honestly, if they're all in the line,
the
right?
charge is a little scary because
you might push him out.
might push him out. Yeah, that's the only concern I have, right? But you're completely right.
Yeah.
And the Spirit Breaker is a hero I've seen Ducalis play. Ducalis, his team. Who does he play position 5 for? But it's a position 5 Spirit Breaker, most likely.
What, Ducalis is in the same team as Duraki, right?
Yeah, Duraccio. Yeah.
Duraccio, sorry, which is the Belarusian team. It's the we just cast them like no time ago. Windstrike.
Thank you very much.
Right?
Yes.
It is Windstrike.
I believe it is for Windstrike. Yeah. So those guys, yeah. I mean, it's been pulled out before. That was actually yesterday, and that was an exciting match as well.
I agree.
Or is he for PuckChamp?
Maybe PuckChamp. Maybe.
Because with Krelat, just open up my icon. Oh yeah, you got it here.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, but let's take a look. The Underlord I like for IPG.
Oh, you're right. It is PuckChamp.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because PuckChamp, they actually use it in their match versus Windstrike. And guys, let me hype up our match for tomorrow. I know we're still in the draft. This is a terrible
it's
time
also
to do it.
Belarus, right? Belarusian.
Yeah. But tomorrow, Windstrike, currently undefeated, 5-0. They're going to be taking on PuckChamp, 4-1.
So exciting.
So exciting. And we even got a preview of it yesterday that I had the opportunity to cast in a Snow Sweet Snow tournament in the group stage. It was a 2-0 defeat. PuckChamp taking, honestly, 2 easy games.
Yeah.
2 easy games. They got to play their game. So tune in for that one tomorrow, guys. We're going to be starting at 7 p.m. European time.
We'll say that later.
We'll
the
say
best
later.
thing you can do right now is follow the channel
channel
to make sure you do catch that game. We're going to continue with the draft because IPG needs one more pick. They need a mid laner here.
What's interesting is IPG, they pick the Underlord, and then they also ban the PL again.
Yeah, I was going to comment on that earlier. It's like, you really do not want the PL just in case. Underlord is good against most illusion heroes, so like Wraith King is weak against all of them.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
so at least there's that thing to be said. But they need a mid laner right now, and it's going to be a Ember Spirit. Okay. Pretty good against Darkseer because you can catch up to him easily with a Surge. Surge doesn't become as powerful. And the only issue with Ember, of course, is that your Ember Spirit versus Quas-Wex Invoker. Quas-Wex Invoker tends to be quite strong against Ember. So that's one of the weaknesses. Though I have seen some Embers nowadays just not go for Flame Guard. Go slide a Fist-Searing Chains and win that lane regardless.
I think that's what you're going to have to do. Maybe go for the Maelstrom. Maybe you consider a Falcon Blade, which I've seen once on the Ember Spirit as that intermediate item, because you're right.
Not a bad idea.
You cannot go for Flame Guard, and that's what Ember wants to be using to farm his jungle. And you know, between, I don't know, 7 and 11 minutes, and come out, defend his tier 1 tower, and fight a little bit with the team. Just skirmish, not really fight, right? Maybe gank the lane. I don't know. I agree. It's a tough pick, you know, picking the Ember into the Invoker. But you're at least knowing what you're getting into, right? So you can plan ahead for that, and I think the plan is going to be, like you said, Searing Chains and maxing the Sleight of Fist this time.
Yeah. Now VP.Prodigy has the option for a carry. They want to carry with a good matchup against Wraith King. They probably took the 2 best carries, Slark and Phantom Lancer, away. Think of other options you want against the Wraith King. Because, like, for example, a lot of heroes are decent against him in the 1v1. Ursa Troll, for example, aren't good against Underlord. Because the constant rooting in the one area that you're fighting with sucks.
I think it might just be a Troll.
Terribly. Okay, I like this a bit
Sure.
better. The issue is Underlord's still a problem.
That's what I was going to say, yeah, especially in the lane. You're kind of going to be not too incentivized to be farming very much with your counter image, because Underlord, like you said, he's great versus illusion heroes, and TB, even in the lane, is a little bit of an illusion hero, as it will be the Grimstroke 5, so Spearbreaker 4. So PuckChamp, they did decide to run it. Was that the game? That wasn't the game where they played Wisp with it, but that would have been hilarious. So this hero, incredibly annoying, one of the best rotators in the game, to be honest, especially because he has the luxury of harassing a lot at level 1, and then he can just TP home and then charge back into the lane, which you tend to see.
Especially with the Darkseer.
Yeah, and that's good. Oh yeah, especially with the Darkseer here. That's a real mean lane.
Yeah, because then what you do as well is you just Iron Shell him, and he charges mid, and you go, well, that's the extra source of damage, right? Or alternatively, Spearbreaker can just stand next to the Wraith King with Iron Shell on, not even hitting him, and you're fine. It's a really solid lane.
It's pretty easy, though, it should be said, to if you have a Sleight of Fist ready and a couple of creep, not just one, right, to Sleight of Fist 2, you can pretty easily dodge that charge, though.
That's very true. Yeah, Ember's not an easy hero to gank. You kind of have to set it up with like maybe a Tornado Cold Snap or something like that.
Yeah, you've got to force it out, right? Also, Rubik
or EMP him, for example.
Yeah. Rubik Telekinesis is really good at stopping him. Maybe even Ladan on the Clockwork.
Actually, the Pit of Malice is insane.
Oh, yeah, it's really good. Yep. Good point. That's probably why they picked it up as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just think there's a lot of utility to this Underlord. So even though I see a lot of synergy in the VPP draft, and I would say that IPG is more around, like IPG just looks like a good draft, right? It's not nothing special to it. It's just solid heroes that do the role properly. Great.
Yeah, I think this is like a very Game 3 draft from them.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, right? Hey guys, maybe we don't want to pick Core Wisp this time around, right?
Exactly.
Let's go back to just Wraith King. He's good. He wins games.
It's a solid, stable draft that works on most times of the game. It's ultra late when you start to suffer against TB, but can you really get to ultra late? We'll see. VVP though. In their draft, I think there's so much synergy. I kind of find it hard not to go for them, but I do think that there's a lot of good counter picks for IPG. I think it's a 50-50, honestly. Just two very different ways of drafting.
My biggest concern I would have for IPG is how well they'll deal with the Spearbreaker. It's a hero that has not really been picked in competitive for a very, very long time. And in pubs as well, kind of the same reason. We saw him when they changed his Ags a little bit, because the Ags is really, really great. 7-second cooldown on the charge with additional movement speed is what more could you want, really, on the Spearbreaker. He also provides a break. That's going to be on the Aghanim Shard. It actually also really increases the utility of the Nether Strike, which is mostly used to try and cancel TPs. But again, we've got some great counters. I mean, how many times have we seen a Spearbreaker get hook shot, and then he just turns and tries to Nether Strike a Clockwork who's battery assaulting him, and he just roars at him?
Well, now with Shard, you get the extra
That is
the
true.
BKB, right?
With the Shard, you do.
Well, not the BKB, sorry. Magic Immunity, rather.
For
is the
4
proper
seconds.
term.
2 seconds might make that.
Yeah, it got nerfed a bit. It also used to be that you used to get it even if you weren't, like, you didn't have to charge it before with a Shard. I was like, why would you nerf? Like, this hero got seen for maybe half a day in competitive, and I was like, well, nerf the Shard.
Yeah.
Can't have Spearbreaker back in competitive.
Nope. Can't have that.
And that's when you know that he's clearly a support player. Like, he bans Slark, he nerfs the Spearbreaker.
I don't think so.
The Spectre.
No, because Necrobook is too strong for Ice Frog to be a support player.
That's also very true.
All right, here we go. Meta level 1. DSA harassed very effectively by Ladan, though, so he can't really show himself without taking too much harass. Look at Ladan, you madman.
Did he actually deny that? That was noticed.
That was noticed getting the deny.
Yeah, sorry.
But Ladan was making an effort for it.
I mean, you can't really kill a Clockwork early. He's quite tanky. And he goes for the lane. This is how you deal with the TB, right?
Mm-hmm.
Level 1 meta, you use it immediately, and you go, sure, dude, I'll just take the cubes with me.
Supernova denying underneath the tier 1. All right, that one was going to be a bit difficult for sure. Careful here, Supernova. He's got a lot of damage for you. Firestorm, fantastic though, right? It's magic damage versus one of the highest armor heroes in the game.
But really low HP.
Very low HP.
That's why you don't care. I mean, granted, Firestorm, early the percentage damage is not so high, so you rely much more on the base damage, which is it's actually kind of decent early. And then later on is when your percentage damage becomes big a deal, right?
Yeah, we also have some decent nuke potential for him this game, right? Because that's the biggest way you deal, much like with a Morphlane, right? Yep. These heroes that are balanced around the idea of playing with the HP. Of course, Notice with the Sunder, Morphlane with the Attribute Shift, but it's kind of the same concept. Fadebolt might be just enough for that as well, right? Because you can use Telekinesis to cancel. Fadebolt, when it's max, is a pretty meaty nuke as well. So that could be enough to potentially nuke down a TB before you can get to Sunder off. Because other than that, you're relying on a really good Clockwork initiation or a Wraithfire Blast. You don't have like a...
Or Underlord setting up a good pit of mouse.
Yeah, yeah.
But the issue, of course, is that once the BKBs come into play, or even the spells, like this is a really good game for Darkseer to... I mean, obviously the Axe build is the build, right? It always goes for this build. I still think actually this game Necrons is not bad either, to be honest.
For
like,
the Darkseer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you have a bit of clear. It depends on if you see the Wraith King going for Radiance straight up.
What do you think the advantage? Because traditionally the Darkseers before the Axe got changed used to like to build the Helm of the Dom, right?
Yes.
So what's the advantage you see over the traditional build?
The reason why I like the Necrons is that it sometimes is much better with Ags, and it helps you push a lot more, and the damage you deal early mid is super great. And in this game particularly, taking away mana from Wraith King is incredible.
All right, I could see that.
So Necrons can easily go for that.
Yeah.
Purge is also very useful this game.
You won me over with the second point, actually.
Yeah,
but I mean, you do have a Quaspex Invoker. Do you think it's a little bit too overkill there? Wouldn't you rather see him go straight
to the
for the
Eggs?
Eggs?
You ever have overkill for a guy with Reincarnation.
Okay.
If
Fair point.
anything, it's underkill.
Well, it's just one kill, really, right? Because if you can't respawn,
Yes, I know.
it's the perfect amount of kill.
It's the perfect amount of kill. How many times do I have to murder him, though? Twice.
Way too many times. Force Major, I think, is going right into the Tranquils. He might lock this just for the extra regen.
Okay, interesting. I like the Aura of Corrosion a bit better, not gonna lie. Early as a Spirit Breaker. Because I think, especially with the Darkseer, your lane is so good, you might as well take advantage of it. But I
Yeah.
can see the point of Tranquils if you're looking to move a bit more.
We're going to start to see this lane. Yeah, now we got level 3. That's what they were waiting for. Second point instantly into the Ion Shell, not wasting any time. So Force Major, he's just trying to contest the pull here and will do so successfully. And then he's going to run back, get an Ion Shell, and they might look for a kill onto the Rubik here.
Force Major hits him twice, like, okay, no bashes, I guess we're not playing here. That's how you play with Spirit Breaker with a Darkseer, by the way. You hit him once or twice, and if you don't get a bash in those hits, then you just continue to walk next to them with the Iron Shell. You just got the point of inflection in this lane, though, which means Iron Shell level 3, and now you actually want to play aggressively.
Ion Shell level 2, but level 3 for Darkseer. Yeah,
level 3 for Darkseer. Thank you for that.
I got you.
Brain fart there.
That's, it's the same thing. 1 plus 2 is 4, you know?
1 plus 2 is 4.
At level 3 Ion Shell at level 3.
Careful the hurl.
Hurl Boulder. Boulder hurled. Boulder hurled. How about
I can't
that?
wait to tell my mom that you thought that the past tense of hurl is fun. And she'll go like, ¿Qué? No te entiendo. Anyway. The Conjure image is ready for notice, so now he has a bit more ways to deal with the Underlord in lane. And the lane, it just sucks for an Underlord against a TB, right? You can kind of deal with him without meta, but whenever meta's up, you just kind of leave.
Yeah.
And there's not much you can do about it.
You just regen. I mean, you don't really just want to leave the lane because you still do need to get your experience, of course, but it's even a bit dangerous. Grimstroke can give himself or even the meta TB an Inkswell. They might try for it here. Yeah, here it is in action. Meta is out of service, though.
The
so.
slowest Inkswell in history, and it still catches the fattest man ever.
That's what I mean. He's large and in charge.
He has the largest model in Dota, by the way.
I believe that is true, except for a Dragon Knight with Giant's Ring and Aghanim Scepter and a BKB active, and also a Wraith form after the Wraith King
normal
Eggs.
model.
Yeah, because that thing is ginormous.
Do you know what the slimmest model is in Dota?
It is it Riki?
It's actually Nagasara.
Ah, I didn't know that.
She used to be able to walk between sprouts. They had to increase her size because of a really stupid mechanic. Not always, by the way, but like inconsistently, used to be able to walk between trees.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
A little fun fact for you guys. You model enthusiasts there.
The model enthusiast, yeah. Yeah, that's why I have so much Naga Siren images on my computer, Dad. I'm a model enthusiast. I'm inspecting these models.
Why is she not wearing clothes? That's how the model is, Dad!
It's called a T-pose. Force Major in trouble. He's going to go down. Big ol' crit out from the Mortal Strike here. And there's going to be the bones of the Spirit Breaker. And maybe even a nice little stake here for First Blood. You know, you got to treat yourself every now and then.
He even got himself he even went for the Vampiric Spirit build, which is the best build for farming as well on a Wraith King. So usually this is not the best build for lane. The best build for lane is either you max the Mortal Strike for more damage, or you can even go Wraith Fire Blast in offensive lane, though that scales awfully. But this is the ideal build for a Wraith King. If you can afford to go for this, it increases your farm by the utmost.
And I feel like it's going to help him quite a bit here, right? Because Ion Shell is super annoying. It's simply too early to be booted out of the lane, right? You want to do that maybe at level 5 in a terrible lane.
Oh, top lane, there's a fight going on. I think Grimstroke is in trouble.
Yeah, TP out from Ladan. Sorry, out of Laurel.
Yeah, because Laurel had to come here to save his, actually both of his heroes because they were down to Firestorm alone. So thank God Laurel TP. But this gave Ember Spirit a bit more solo farm in the mid.
Some leeway. He's able to freely secure the illusion rune, so it's back to full.
He's winning this lane, by the way.
He's doing very well. And,
with Flame Guard.
That is surprising. Yeah, I just noticed that as well myself. Bottom, in some trouble here. We've got a Wraith Fire Blast? No, but we might not need it. Stick charges, are they going to be enough? Surge forced out, so lots of utility there at the very least as our Darkseer up to level 5, 131 we should see.
The reason, by the way, why some Embers still go for the Flame Guard build with Sleight of Fist still maxed is that you hope that Sleight of Fist is enough to avoid the Tornado, which is, of course, the offensive dispel the Invoker carries, and then use the Flame Guard to push the lane. Because otherwise, you have no lane control, and the Invoker does. So that's a difficulty in the mid lane matchup. Invoker can just push the lane, go farm jungle, right, and you can't do much about it. So that's why if you go for the complete Steering Chains build, it's a bit more risky as a mid lane Ember. That's why some Embers opt for the Flame Guard build still. And I think it works out here. I mean, he's doing a really good job.
He is. I mean, just take a look at the tower. I mean, right now, it's taking over 700 damage. Asgold as well is going to be able to farm in the meantime. You know, these little camps in between. Got to be a little bit careful, though. Laurel with the rotation top does find his first 2 urn charges, so it's pretty easy for the Invoker to potentially snowball from here, as they will get another kill top lane. Supernova getting the kill credit there onto DSA, as they have booted the TB into the jungle. Bottom lane in the meanwhile, my goodness, the Skeleton King here is still in the lane, going straight into the Radiance here. Maybe he's going to consider the Armlet first, but...
Yeah, he should if he has a Q, right? You're not going to go Armlet after Radiance.
Charge.
Okay, Rari doesn't seem to care, though. He's quite confident. Look at this. He's just mashing Force Mage to the ground.
Yeah, he's got too much damage for him.
He wants some more beef.
We still have a Telekinesis available as well. But,
yeah, it's only level 1, though, so it's the crap Telekinesis, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's right, but that's, again, kind of all you really need against a Spirit Breaker. You just need that little bit of a stun there into a secondary Wraithfire Blast. But they're going to go and give up the chase, which is a good thing, because there's plenty of rotations. They've scouted Laurel, and they are going to be able to scout DSA as well. So it's all systems go for Supernova to, you know, pull the wave, farm the camp, and push the tower all at the same time. And we should see then IPG react appropriately and rotate Rari into the jungle as well off of this. Or maybe even top to help the push.
Yeah, I agree. So I hope he doesn't build Armlet then, if he's really committing to this range, which I think is fine, by the way. Straight Radiance build is okay this game. But don't go for Radiance then Armlet. That'd be really odd, I think. Unless you really think that you can absolutely beat them with this build and play in the mid game.
Oh, Vacuum's going to miss.
That
was a hopeful Vacuum, level 1, but...
he is timed, by the way, to go for the full Axe build. There's no Searing Chains on the Emperor. Oh, there is. He just didn't use him earlier.
He didn't. I think he just got him, perhaps level 8 now. A little bit of lag, sorry, but let's go ahead and talk about real quick something I've neglected to mention. Darkseer, Wall of Replica versus a Wraith King. Maybe he does want to go instead for the Armlet here, just because I think giving a Radiance burn to the enemies is a bit difficult.
But then what do you build as a... Do you play like a mid-game Wraith King?
I guess like Armlet. I would say at least Armlet, because it's real bad. You know, hold on pause.
Well, you have to turn off the Radiance, right? That's the trick.
Sure, just turn it off, but what if you get it engaged on, you know, and then you get Vacuum straight in? I get what you're saying, right? There's counterplay there, but it's a big problem. Counter rotation.
Avoid the charge, but on the EMP, that's what they wanted to do, bait him out, so they could hit him with a real big spell, which is taking away his mana. However, Celebrity in a bad position, and you still had some fight left in Rari.
This is not very good for VPP. They're not getting anything out of these. In fact, you look at the health bars, and I mean, obviously Ember's already going back home and regenning, but everyone's a bit low. TB, obviously, he's not showing up to fight here. Rari is able to hold his own as well in these engagements, and he doesn't even have the point in reincarnation, right?
Yeah,
you don't want it, right? But also, he's like, I'm just going to keep farming.
Guys, by the way, if you watch the best ratings in the world, you know, Nightfall, I think is his name now.
Nightfall? Yep.
Yes, or like Hector, or whomever really that plays Wraithing, they never go for the first one reincarnation, and they invest instead in either Vampiric Spirit or the crit, because it's much more useful to farm faster. Realistically, there's rarely a time where Wraithing level 1 reincarnation will be useful to you. Yeah, even saving the point is not that common anymore, because you just go, I'd rather invest it in something that will help me farm.
The cooldown's just too damn long. 300 seconds is among one of the higher cooldowns in the game. Yeah. People usually think it's the longest cooldown, which it's not. Little Dota trivia question.
Actually, good point, guys, by the way. I don't know if Siren is thinner or slimmer than Hoodwink. I'm not sure about that one.
Oh, yeah, the thing is, like, you ask pros who play, like, 10 hours of Dota a day, they probably play way too much, or they play with too much Hoodwink. But you ask, like, casters, and, like, we don't know yet because we're too busy casting. And
yeah, it's true. I've never played Hoodwink in my life.
No. When I see the hero in my pubs, I'm like, what do I need to build against it? Like, I'm learning about it myself.
I still don't know her by name. Like, whenever I see her in Peru, they all call her Sandy. SpongeBob, it's true.
Rari running. He's in a little bit of trouble as the server lagging a little bit, but Rari should be able to escape here and dodges the Inkswell. As Laurel
died. Did the server lag affect the players too? Because that was a weird, it seemed like a misplay almost. They should have caught him with the Inkswell vacuum, but they missed the vacuum again.
Yeah, I'm not really sure here. Just a little bit of issues here. But also, yeah, Laurel ends up dying here solo to the Ember Spirit. That could have been courtesy of Ladon hookshot, and I think using context clues it was, as unfortunately we're struggling here with some of the UI elements on the HUD. They're looking to turn on to Force Major. He's got charge.
Iron Shell, dude.
That's annoying.
That's awesome. Telekinesis, bring him back. You just need a Fate Bolt, but the Ghost will save his life, actually.
Yeah.
He didn't have mana anyway, so it's fine. But we're seeing a bit of lag in the server, though. Hopefully this fixes itself. It's not our stream, by the way, guys. You'll see our internet is still pitch perfect. By the way, Supernova has been left completely alone this top lane. What is he building? He has a Void Stone. Is that a Lotus Orb first?
Yule Scepter, maybe? Yeah, Yule Scepter.
Okay,
Yeah,
I've seen the Yules for a more defensive Underlord because it has much more defensive capability than Atos, of course. It's weaker than Atos, but it will always guarantee the last 2.5 seconds of the ultimate, right? So pretty much you're safe to use the ultimate whenever.
DSA starts hitting the ward. He's going to get it at the very least. 146 gold into his pocket. He will feed 216 in return to Supernova, currently the richest hero in the game. And he's now got the full Yule Scepter going next into the phase boots. And he's going to continue this push top. No one can realistically contest him unless they want to rotate a bunch of heroes. Of course, VPP, that's not really their priority. They want this bottom tower, but it's being fervently defended by IPG. Well, it was, but I think now they're probably going to concede it here.
Well, the tower down... Yeah, what does VPP... What are you waiting for, right? Just to push this? There's nothing stopping you, so at least you take this tower, but in exchange, they've taken your mid tower already, they've taken your top tower as well. They've completely taken over your jungle. And now you do the classic jungle swap, where you know, both teams exchange jungles. But the problem is, since you haven't taken their mid tier 1, you realistically cannot go and invade the enemy high ground jungle. You can only really take their low ground jungle, right? Because the mid tier 1 is still up. Whereas as IPG, you can invade the enemy triangle, even if not safely, but you can do that. You can invade the enemy high ground jungle easily. You can push your safe lane as much as possible, or your safest lane as much as possible.
They're going to go hunting, I think, for the TB. 4 heroes showing bottom. TB not in his own jungle. Pardon me, not in his own jungle. Oh, they're going to actually go for a fight. They're going to gank the TV, but there's going to be the hook shot out from Ladon. They're going to be able to catch TSA. Down for the counts already. He got the Phantom out, but not the Stroke of Fate. Charge as the counter initiation. Nope, going to be canceled immediately. Supernova able to purge off the Surge. I think that's what that one is for, but nothing to cancel the TP. Next to fall is going to be the Spirit Breaker as Asgold gets hit by the Tornado, dodges the EMP. And
that's a very good point, actually. Being able to purge out the Surge. And of course, yes, all items have 0 cast points, but since Atos has a projectile, then you can't hit him immediately, so you can outrun the projectile a bit.
A little bit, yeah.
To make sure that you don't get him with the second Pit of Malice. However, you can't outrun Wind, right?
No, you cannot.
No, its Wind is immediate.
Yeah, that's why Windrunner is, I don't know.
Awful?
Yeah, she's not too good, is she?
But have you ever tried to outrun a tornado? It just doesn't work.
It does not work. I'm from the Midwest. I can't tell you that one.
Yeah, he knows. He tells me all about it.
Some people, actually, you can kind of outrun them in cars, low-key.
Yeah, that's why the tornado chasers are.
They don't move that fast, but don't get close to them. Don't play with them.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah, I swear to God. You know, it's how like there's all the memes with like moths to a spotlight, or whatever. Bottom lane, hold that thought. Yule Scepter is going to save him from the soul burn. Nice Yules indeed. Setting up with the 2-man Pit of Malice. Ladon trying to get in there, but they will eventually break free. Laurel is very low on the HP. Inkswell now onto Ladon, stolen from the Grimstroke as he will drop the Soulbind on the 2, but they're going to dive his tier 1 tower and murder him. Both supports dying. Laurel barely living. They want to try and catch him, but he's already out of there. That was hopeful out from Asgold.
That was very hopeful. It's Quaz Wex, dude. He's going to have the max Ghost Walk, which gives him extra movement speed in addition to the Wex Orbs. There's no way you're catching up to him. Wraithkin, meanwhile, is having his own little fight against Celebrity, but Celebrity acknowledges there's no way he kills the Wraithkin right now. And he is going to commit to the Radiance.
Yeah.
He is going to seemingly commit to the Radiance Armlet, which honestly, with the timing you're getting Radiance is not bad at all.
Yeah.
This time for Radiance is really good considering your lane.
Yeah, the only concern I'm going to have is we can see some with the Radiance burn on. What is that, 17% miss chance, I believe, to enemies or something like that. Wraith King can sometimes struggle to actually kill his own illusion, as there's a charge coming from Force Major, but the Tornado is not going to time that one perfectly. No mana to jump forward, but he doesn't need it because the Stolen Inkswell counter initiation. Now Ladon really wants this kill onto Laurel, but there's the Ghost Walk. Do they have detection? Yes. Down goes Laurel now, who dies for the Bounty Rune. Koval is going to be able to lead enemies away from his team, and it will be a 1-for-1 Rubik for the Invoker. Last time, Invoker not able to escape.
Alright, there they go. TSA in trouble. Searing Chains, goodbye.
Wow.
Really easy kill on
Procs the Maelstrom there. I was wondering what did so much damage. It was Maelstrom.
The Underlord's doing an incredible game, by the way, Supernova. This pick has been so value, and early game it's really hard to beat him in general because he's one of the strongest elf laners early. He gets online super easily, farms really quickly. He has everything you'd want from a hero. In addition to his Pit of Malice being brutal against Spirit Breaker this game, and also later on against DB.
If he's so good, why don't they make an anime out of him?
That's a very big point. I hope he is. I hope he's like the sensei, and the one that explains everything that's happening.
You don't think he's going to be the big bad evil guy?
What, Underlord?
Yeah.
No, he's like a friendly grandpa dude.
No, he's not.
Yes.
Can you hear this? Look at that hood. No friendly grandpa wears a hood like that.
No, he's the one that. Okay, he's like the evil guy that turns into the good guy. The one that always laughs. Cuckoo, 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 and you're like, who laughs that way?
He's the fake one.
Yeah, he's the fake one.
He's the fake out.
You saw right through my plan. Well.
All right, I got you. Well, listen, isn't it crazy how I can discuss anime without even having seen a single anime?
I mean, you do live with me.
That's true. All right, Notice farming in the enemy jungle, trying to finish off the Manta style. Finds out a little stack. That'll help. But the enemies, they know where they are. IPG, they can go searching. That courier might have just scouted him out as well. Was Koval, now he'll certainly know that there was a TB nearby. He's going to have the TP, and out he goes, just barely surviving.
Alright, well, Montasal finished on the Terrorblade. Not too awful. What are you dispelling here with Monta? Probably Searing Chains mainly.
Searing Chains, the root as well.
The root from Underworld, yeah, it's pretty big. However, the Yules is great against this, right? Because you can't dispel that. So you just wait for the Monta, you Yules him up, and then you go, well.
Yeah, it's also nice in case Ladan jumps. He's a nice little, oh no, he's got, no. Poke shot better than Vacuum. Rooted up and rooted again, and he will go down. It's also nice to have if Ladan hookshots you and there's no immediate follow-up, you can pop the Manta and spread some of these battery assault procs to maybe break out of the cogs.
It's true, you do help out with, especially the early engagements. I just love to see this Terrorblade visibly being able to fight regardless, right, in general.
What do you think, what does he need? What does he need to fight?
I'd say Scotty BKB, honestly.
I agree. I was going to say the exact same items. I might even consider an MKB.
What, after?
Yeah.
Also Scotty BKB, MKB?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Because of this Radiance, right?
I would love it the Wraith King instead of going for Arm really went for Heaven's Halberd actually this game.
Yeah? But the thing is, I don't know if that's a useful item, right? Because it looks like TB is not engaging. Like, look, he backs up and farms, and the enemy, or rather, the rest of VPP are going to, like, you know, make sure they push forward.
So Armlet is much more offensive. He is going for Heaven's.
He is going for the Halberd, at least for now.
I mean, it's just such a value item no matter what, and I think it does give you a bit of offensive potential, so I see the point of like, the safer build. It's not like you have to finish this game in the next 10-20 minutes. Like, Wraith King still has, like, you still had 30 minutes of being the best carry this game.
You're totally right. Plus, what's the mischance on Halberd just by holding it? It's a little up there, right, with the Talisman. It's not too high, but it's like 12%, 14%, I think.
Yeah.
You'd stack that with the Radiance as well, and then you essentially force the MKB, because although those do not stack additively, they stack multiplicatively, it's still going to be about a 20% mischance. Supernova, yeah, he's going to be A-OK here, dodges the Ink Swallow as well.
And they go in, hook shot, everything. The game is lagging like crazy. But they murdered DSA immediately, and they want to go immediately for the second support. No, it's going to be the Invoker who dies instead. The Sunder does save Notice, but they're still chasing after with all the help of the Iron Shell stolen by the Rubik. Notice is not going to be able to survive this. He's going to die to a single crit here by Rari, and actually stole the Sunder there towards the end to make sure Rari stays alive. That's going to be a team wipe. We're sorry for the lag. That's just what you get with Darkseer versus, I don't know, I guess the Underlord? I'm not really sure what's making the game lag.
I'm not sure what it is either, but hopefully it's not too bad. We're going to yell at the guy to flip through the slides a little bit faster up there in the projection booth, and hopefully we'll have that issue fixed here for the next team fight. But great initiation. Once again, Ladan just jumping in there, making the work happen. They actually had a good shot there, I believe, with the vacuum into the wall, but just a bit too strong here on the likes of IPG. They're able to take that fight 16-3 now. I mean, let's be honest, right now, they are dominating this game.
Yeah. Totally. I think the Yulsitter pickup has spoken for itself. We don't really need to justify what it's but we said that the Yulsitter is much better defensively, and that's what he's using it for. Careful, there's a fight going on here. Hook shot, we do hear it, and they're actually trying to catch up Laurel again. Can they finish him off? Yes, with a Pit of Malice. He gets rooted, and he's just done for. They didn't go for the Spirit Breaker. Can they turn him into a stake? They will super easily with the Soulbind onto them. They don't seem to care. Back into the low ground, but the Underlord's already dealing enough damage because you murdered two heroes in front of him. He has so much extra damage, this Supernova. 149, which he now uses it to take a tower for free up top. What a game by Supernova, honestly.
Yeah, he is kind of carrying this game from the offlane, which is pretty hard to do, especially in professional Dota. It's just, they kind of ignored him, didn't they? They were like, I don't even know what VPP, like, what did they get done? I mean, I guess lots of space created for Notice, right? But
oh, no.
Clearly
Is
not
it hook
enough.
shot? No, there isn't.
No, there's not.
He has Force Staff, though. He might be able to just get close to him with the Force Staff. There we go. Force Staff.
Nice conjure image, at least, trying to split these, and he's going to be able to do so. Charge. Ladon, he might have gone a little bit too aggressively here. He's going to die, but Rari, looking for DSA, should be able to burn him down very easily, as Force Major will be flamed by the Ember Spirit.
I think that's still. I think a Seer Charge. How do you
Seer
think Spirit
Charge.
Breaker is best done? Is it a rare state?
I prefer him Spirit Breaker Tartar.
This is the one guy that's like, I like dropping ketchup on my Get out of the chat! Get out of the
I
chat!
use A1 sauce and ketchup.
Oh, Lord.
Well done, please.
Yeah, for a bad steak, though, it's actually kind of fair.
For
Anyway.
A1? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, IPG here, I think I was a good agent regardless. You lose a Clockwork, but you can afford to be this aggressive and take these risks. Because you know, at worst, you lose a Clockwork. At best, you catch a TP, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
if you caught TP there, it was amazing. If not, you still compensated with 2 kills. Not bad at all. Well done, IPG. They know how strong they are, and they're playing the strength of them in this draft to their advantage.
Yeah, I mean, just look at this net worth advantage continuing to climb now. Experience as well. I mean, that is a massive, massive gap in terms of the experience game. That might even, at this stage, when, you know, items are still coming online and are very impactful. I mean, look at this. There's a 5-level advantage over the mid laners. And by the way, Laurel's got a Midas as well. He just got this Midas, mind you.
This is a recovery Midas. If I've ever seen one, this is it.
Yeah,
This is
well,
what we call recovery Midas. No memes, no jokes, just a genuine invoker trying to make
is.
it by in this world.
It is. All right, they're going to look to try and boot people away. Supernova might be actually a possible kill here. He's worth a pretty penny if they can find him. They know he's nearby, completely isolated from the rest of his team, but I don't know if they can kill him, to be honest. Yeah, especially now that he's got the Dark Rift going. He's just going to walk up and say, hey, guys, see you later. Right into the Roche pit here. It's starting to look really, really bad here for VPP now. 16k up. Let's switch back to net worth.
Yeah, your win condition is super poor as well. Like, compare him to, first of all, the 3 cores. Like, you're losing to the 3 cores in IPG. Even if it's only by 3k versus the Wraith King, the fact that they have 3 cores and you essentially have 1.5 if you count Darkseer, is kind of worrisome.
It just never gives you a window of opportunity when you're behind that much, because you can go, okay, first I needed Scotty BKB to fight, but now I need Scotty BKB MKB, right? Because now we've got, actually it's SNY, it's not the Halberd. He could always dissemble if he chooses to do so.
Yeah, but I think SNY is justified this game. As you said yourself, you don't really need the Halberd early mid game, sorry.
Definitely.
And you also get a lot from the SNY.
Yeah, status resist as well, super
The movement
useful.
speed is very useful for a Wraith King as well, usually overlooked on the item.
Yeah, the scan is going to scout 1, TB. I mean, you just got, I mean, at this stage, all the farm he's taking is all considered to be dangerous farm. If it's not, like honestly, if it's not a creep wave that's like hitting a tier 3 tower like these, the farm is dangerous farm.
He has to be spoon-fed now, his farm.
He does. He really does.
You need Invoker to, like, you know, hit the creeps a bit so they're nice and mushy for TB to
Here's
take.
Divine Rapier queued up. I mean, it's that time.
That's
really.
such a desperate move, though.
I mean, but what else are you going to build against the Radiance Mischance? Like, you can't afford to miss any of your attacks here.
No, you can't. And I agree that it seems like if you build into any other item and it's not the right one, like Scotty, for example, here, and you happen to lose the next fight, you're jump for, right?
Yeah.
So at least Rapier gives you a chance.
And buyback on TB, it's useless, right? Like, unless you buy back because you got jumped, but in that case, it's, you know, well played to the enemies or you're out of position, right? Tough luck. But, you know, if you die after you use your meta, that sucks.
Even with meta, honestly, I don't think it's that useful this game. That's the Force Major dead, 30 seconds without him. Go further. You're gonna go into the enemy high ground? Not just yet. Maybe wait for the Roshan.
I'd like to imagine that.
Oh wait, no, sorry, you already have it.
Yeah, when the heroes are dead, yeah, Aegis still up for another couple of minutes here. I'd like to imagine in between this the deaths here, Spirit Breaker is sent to, like, you know, some sort of like really nice place. He's like got like
farm, you mean.
open fields. Yeah, he's at the farm. He's at open fields. You know, there's no fences, no barbed wire.
There.
Yeah, he's the same thing. My dog, when I was 8, is there. You know, and then he comes back and he's like, all right. And they give him Ion Shell and Search. Like, all right, go make some space for us, big guy. You know, get in there.
Yeah, it is like Buddhism Express for these heroes, right? Because you reincarnate way too fast. There's no time for you to like reach Nirvana or anything. Just back right into the action.
Oh no, he's like, all right, guys, they scouted me. Get behind me. I know what I must do. Give me that Ion Shell. It's a tough game.
Yeah, sorry, by the way, guys. Whenever you see lag and we're commenting on it, it's because it's also in the Dota TV servers. It's not that we're lagging.
It is the Dota TV.
computers.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's...
Dota's just not... I mean, guys, come on. This game is what?
It's a beta.
It's a beta.
Come on. Like,
it's been out for like maybe 6 months or so.
It's got an anime, but the game is, sometimes barely playable.
You play the anime instead. Find the Invoker. Okay, kill the Invoker super easily.
They have to commit to this fight or it's GG.
They do have the cogs pushing away the TB, which actually puts them into the Pit of Malice. That's a BKB. Can Terrorblade actually fight this? Seems pretty good for them. They've killed the Dawn, but Wraith King still has 2 lives. So does Asgold. Since you wasted the BKB, now you're kind of done for, right? You have no other option. Celebrity, Yule Scepter, the spells that surge, Pit of Malice, you have the Wraith Fire Blast just in case, you use it as well, Pit of Malice keeps him rooted forever, they even catch Notice, put him back into the pit, and Notice is done for. He can't even get his Sunder off in time.
No, he can't. He's got buyback, but again, like, this is like the pub BM line, but buyback for what? Like, what do you do when you buy back on TB and you don't have BKB,
no,
you don't have Manta, you don't have meta? Like, you just throw illusions at them. There's not much else.
I mean, Rari just walked into your pace to show he can, right? It's the dominance walk, right?
Honestly, in this...
He put out his chest, he's like, come on, fight me.
And he's like, guys, I need to kill a couple more of you for my, what's it called, Arcana progress. Could you help me out here?
Right, Shiva's, no, Pit of Malice used for the Invoker. They use the Firestorm as well, and they murder Force Major.
Yeah, stolen vacuum, huh?
Nice. Wow. Really good steal, actually, with the Pit of Malice.
Yeah, especially in the Pit of Malice with the increased cast range hook shot out from Ladon, because, of course, he's going to land that hook shot, dive into your 4 towers. Respawning naturally will be TB. Luckily, this... Where are the creep? There they are. We still have creep. They push slowly but steadily, and, of course, they can kill anyone else that decides to try and still skirmish.
How are you cooking this Wraith King from your base, dude? He's going to stay here forever. He's going to set up camp.
He's got a blink on the way, by the way. He's going for overwhelming blink.
Which is rare. Usually you go for Swift Blink,
Swift Blink, yeah. Arcane Blink you see on like your SFs. Sometimes...
Sure.
Yeah,
but a lot of the strength carries just go for a Swift Blink anyway.
Yep, especially on this hero with, lots of damage, right?
Yeah. And crits and everything. It's like, oh, Lord.
Oh my goodness. They've got wards on the high ground.
Oh,
and
they
the
actually
vacuum.
find Laurel? No! They don't get him with a vacuum just yet. Ember joins in finally, thanks to the help of the
Great
Dark
hook shot.
That hook shot stops the Grimstroke immediately, but not before he gets a Soulbind off, and the DSA is for now alive. They try to kill Laurel, they do accomplish it with a Fate Bolt, as Rari is struggling more against his illusions than against enemy team. He's forced to use the BKB. Laurel acknowledging he might be able to die. As that Mana for the Reincarnation, he's going to go down to the Dire.
Wow, another strike.
Rari, my goodness.
Yeah, another charge here. They're going to search Force Major. They wanted him to go for more, but they didn't. Asgold's now, he's got a TD rune, and of course that Aegis regen active. Negative Scepter, they want more. Supernova's a tough kill, but they're going to commit now for the Metamorphosis. We have this BKB and now a Crystallis, so look out for those red numbers. DD active for Ember Spirit, however. They need to purge that off of him, but right now Supernova's taken down. No more Atrophy or Asgold. You're not that strong anymore, my friend. And he has got to back off. VPP, they've got some fight left in them yet. And we're going to see here potentially a very long game as they do manage to get a singular kill there on the Wraith King.
You always have one of those fights where you kind of think, oh, I'm God, I can do anything, and then like they kill you and they kill a couple other heroes and they set you back into reality. But I don't think this is enough to bring back the game, honestly. Yeah, especially considering that Wraith King died just because he didn't have enough mana for Reincarnation.
Yeah, exactly.
Not because they took it away from him, mind you, he just used too many Wraith Fire Blasts.
They rolled a D20 there on, you get a little, that's a little, the dice from D&D, you know?
The die?
The dice. Roll a D20 there. Anyway, the joke is mad. But Solar Crest...
Is that an anime?
Is that an anime? Yeah. Yeah, it is, actually. There's probably a D&D anime.
There is, actually.
I'm sure there's like a D&D anime where like they accidentally get put into a real adventure and they're like, oh no.
Oh yeah, it's called... Actually, there's one that's really famous recently. An isekai called ReZero. That's kind of like that idea. Good anime, though.
I'm sure. It sounds interesting. It's like Community, you know? The one anime, or the D&D episode is really good.
Oh, yeah, that was really good.
Anyway, doing a little bit of role-playing here is important. Here's the segue. Because Celebrity needs to get this wall of Replica down to be able to get the illusion on the Wraith King. Because like you said...
role-play as Wraith King, because that's the strongest hero they have in their team.
It is, yeah. That's the only hero.
The strongest hero in IPG is Wraith King. The strongest hero in PvP is also
Wraith King. Yeah, and again, this is why I was considering maybe you should go for an MKB here on Rari, just to make sure you can kill your own damn illusion. Because that's the only thing I think keeping VPP in the game.
Nah, don't go for MKB. You go for a Dagon on someone.
All right, or Divine Rapier. True Strike.
No, yeah, sure. I mean, like Dagon because you can insta-kill illusions.
Yeah.
Because they doesn't create strong illusions. He also went for Kaya just to amplify. I mean, obviously Kaya is for later Bloodstone, but it's also to amplify the fact that he does a lot of Iron Shell damage. Not every Darkseer builds this way, though I see a lot of Bloodstone usage these days.
Yeah, I think Skylark likes it, so he's my favorite Darkseer player.
Because he's crazy?
Yeah. Speaking of crazy, Laurel bot lane in trouble, telekinesis, he's been caught, dusted up, and to another route, and yeah, he's not really going anywhere there, unfortunately.
Pit of Malice is the most annoying ability in the world. They get you for the first route, and you go, well, I'm here for a long haul.
I'm here, yeah, forever, really. This is where I sleep now. That's absolutely brutal. As that's going to be Invoker without buyback, but he does now at least have the medallion and a 4-staff, so it's basically the net worth of a support Invoker. Unfortunately, his impact is going to be severely limited this game. Hopefully he can at least get another fight in here, because it looks like IPG, it's a shorter Roche, so IPG, I assume they're going to be disciplined and not choose to fight right before Roche respawns, right? Because that is like potential games that own Material. You just wait for the Roche to respawn, scout it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Roche.
But you never take anything for granted.
No, never take anything for granted.
If life has taught me anything, particularly when I'm watching a lot of Tier 2 Dota, is you never take anything for granted. Do you think SAS Spartan should be, going into the cliff for the 15th time that game? No, but do you take that for granted? No, of course not.
No, of course not. That's why you BKB and assume that there's enemies behind him. Best
My
clip
favorite
of all
play.
Time. I told you, I showed you that because I was like, you're going to love it, and it was great.
Yeah, that was a great clip.
Alrighty then. Yeah, that guy is great to watch. By the way, Octarine Core for the Underlord. I wonder if he's going to go for the Academ Shard, which allows him to self-target, heals him as well for 15%, and I mean, with the Octarine as well, you stack that with the Spell Life Steal. It's not bad. Wow, that's a very fast Spirit Breaker, as there's going to be now at least a lot of damage. But Ladon, he finds the 2, and look at that one. It's a thing of beauty. Laurel's already dead as the Overclock will stun up Notice a second time, but his BKB still active, as Asgold here has been at least hit by some spells. He's got his own BKB, and now the DD as the Vacuum, stolen by the Rubik, is going to pull him right back in. Celebrity, though, looking to turn. That's actually his own Vacuum, as Spirit Breaker Illusion really actually starting to chunk him down. They've lost a big component of their team fight here. Underlord down, as well as Laurel. 2 buybacks forced from VPP. IPG can be quite happy with this.
What'd you say? Discipline, something?
I was incorrect.
Yeah, that's what I told you. I don't take things for granted in these matches
You gotta fight. Like, the thing is, in my opinion, you gotta fight and contest the Roshan, right?
Sure.
Because that's an objective. You can set up here on your high ground. You can fight around the Roche because you got pretty damn good team fight, right? Vacuum and the Soulbind and all that good stuff. But they didn't want to fight with it this game, seemingly. I don't know.
They're going to at least take the Roshan now here. I think that was a bit of a blunder as well, and Underlord losing his life mid lane. And this could give a chance for VP to fight this. The problem is VP doesn't have the best team fight. You really only have Vacuum.
I mean, Vacuum Wall of Replica.
Plus the cow.
Plus a charge in here.
No, I mean, you could
Invoker.
try this, but I can see why they're so reticent to try this.
I
and
understand.
instead use this time to farm on TB. The thing, though, is they know the Roshan is being made, and they're using this time to farm on Laurel.
No, Laurel, no. He's baiting. He has to be baiting. He just died down here before. There's no way that
he is baiting. He's baiting for Supernova. If they kill him again, this is huge.
It is. They're trying.
They know they don't have buyback, because he would have bought back for that.
As Ward scouting behind the tower.
Oh, he has Octarine Core.
That's what I mean. I wanted him to go for the shard.
Oh, for the more, but the Octarine Core is amazing for the Pit of Malice, though.
It is. Yeah.
More Pit of Malices. Pit duration's 12. Cooldown is 15 seconds. Okay. GG.
Hook shot, and they find the cow. Looking for a nice little cut here, but he's got the spider legs able to run, but the overshot, you're not really running far from Ladon, are you? And Asgold there just to secure the kill, canceling the charge. As a die back there, dead for 70 seconds. Cutting waves is noticed. He's going to be scouted by the scan, though. And Supernova running him down. There's going to be so much vision. Asgold is just in here. He has to TP. BKB TP. The wise play to make.
And immediately they chase after. And they go, do you want to come with me? The Darkseer's in the top lane. It's just Underlord alone.
Darkseer Arcana now with the...
oh, yeah. He's perpetually purple now, guys. Yeah. Which, by the way, will break the game if this goes long enough.
Oh, Laurel was trying to cut some waves mid lane and was going to be punished, but he's got buyback, and his death timer, honestly, pretty short.
I mean, he's playing support at this point.
He is.
So I think it's kind of justified. It's okay, honestly. You can still have a... You can still have the TB carry you, so it's fine. The TB can still carry this game. Like, I mean, it's fine. No, you're in a really bad position, but it's as fine as it'll ever get in this game.
Yeah, I mean, Rari's got now the, what is this, plus 25 strength on the overwhelming blink, running down DSA, no chance to escape. Underlord's going to give a quick pause and go just question mark here. I'm sure we're going to get the admin to ask them to state the reason for the pause here just momentarily. Oh, it's a disconnect out, actually. It's obvious. Darkseer nearby could look to counter-initiate, but doesn't really want to have to commit the wall, but they actually will... Oh! Can you vacuum Ember Spirit out of a Remnant? Or does that only work for Storm?
Oh, actually, I'm unsure about that one. Maybe. We'll see now.
We will see. Notice nearby. He's got the full Daedalus, Manta Style, and the Paladin Sword, but he is going to be without BKB for another 25 seconds. It's only a 6-second charge, but you just need it to be able to play the game. Otherwise, you're just permanently in the pit.
Yep. I don't know... PC crash, so that's pretty awful. Sorry. Well, he gave it before the admin asked for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, this is probably worse for IPG, right? Because they
need to be on point right now.
They need to be on point, right? Because Clockwork is nowhere nearby. He can't get in here. He can't hope to get in here for a couple more seconds. Even still, he's low on mana, so I don't think he can actually get off the double hookshot combo. Rubik's nearby with Stolen Vacuum. We could see that, but Supernova as well, not quite in position here, even with those phase boots. So maybe we can turn. Invoker has buyback. Maybe they just want to play it defensively. And but Grimstroke doesn't have buyback, so it's like...
It's a really tough play to make for VVP, I would say here. I don't know. Like, I think this idea by IPG is risky, but works out because you have 2 kills anyway. You might need to buy back on the Invoker. However, VPP, like, I'm not really sure how you fight this in the high ground when they've already gone to your high ground this far. I think the Soulbound was a big reason why you were winning these fights, and there's no way Grimstroke survives this. One crit and he's dead.
I agree.
Actually, can we check if the crit's off cooldown?
The crit's ready to go. Okay, so I mean, do you want to calculate the damage? 260. Yeah, like Rari's just laughing. He's like, you are so dead. Yeah. You are mine. And you know what? Grimstroke this game, if only he had the opportunity to be farming, right? Could you imagine? I mean, just think of it this way, right? Here's your anime plot, right? Same thing with the Darkseer and the Grimstroke as well. Just creating illusions and beating the crap out of Rari with his own illusions. 2 is better than 1.
Yep. Gonna see now what VVB can do to fight this. This is their last fight probably. If they lose this, there's no way they're winning this game. They're fighting against Agents and Cheese. There's no reason why IPG would ever leave from this match.
Yeah,
sorry,
from this play.
Right? Yeah, from this high ground position they're in.
Yeah, well, we'll see
hopefully,
here.
Hopefully the PC crash is not so severe. Can you imagine they have to play 4 versus 5 from now on?
I mean, this is why you got to get your SSD and make sure you got that one going, because that's going to be super impactful here for sure. But a quick little pause, unfortunately, breaking the momentum of our match, and as always, delaying our upper division start here just a bit as well. So we're going to be waiting for this match to complete, of course, and waiting for Supernova to get back and respawn.
Got nothing to say, honestly, at this point. I feel like this is the worst part to... I can't imagine coming back into a game where your PC crashed, dude.
What do you mean?
Must really suck.
How so?
Can you imagine if you were like playing like a football game, like a professional football game, right?
Okay.
And then all of a sudden the ball just disappears and just it like explodes into midair?
I guess that is...
That's the equivalent.
That
or
is
your
something
foot
quite
just
unique.
falls off by accident?
You know what's great here is during the initial COVID lockdown period when the world took it seriously, what had happened was the only sports leagues like that were kind of still running were like motorsports, right, in simulation, and that was something a lot of the people had to get used to. You know, getting used to like netcode and these things, right? So like they were having like the fighter. They sounded like fighter games players, like, oh, the netcode's so bad. I keep crashing.
To be fair, netcode in racing games and as well fighting games not the best.
No, I
they
mean
really need to do that.
They strive to always make it better, right? But that was something.
You're lucky in racing games because racing games are made by Americans. Japanese netcode is bad because they only.
Small.
Yeah, Japan is a small country with a lot of people, so you go, well, why do we need good netcode?
All
and
right.
then Americans are like, please.
And we go, will Rari die? Yes.
Yes, that was an easy answer.
Stolen.
Will Darkseer die too? I think so.
Gets off the wall, though, before he goes with the Stolen Vacuum. Hook shot, they're going to be able to catch
Beautiful hook
one
shot.
into the Pit of Malice.
Put
he
him into
goes.
the pit,
Dual
dude.
Sceptered as well. He's going to have to use
Perma-rooted.
BKB, but it's down for 10 seconds. Can he get up Asunder? No chance.
He
Down
gives up.
for the count. I think he did kind of give up there. Should be the GG, as noticed. Will call it. Take the disconnect. And IPG or Team Tequila, they got some reason to be drinking tonight, as they are going to be able to get this win over VVP. Very well played.
Drop by your sponsor, win a game. That's how it works, boys. IPG showcasing they're still a team to be reckoned with. VPP, unfortunately, now pretty much in the complete relegation. Now the Hustler has made it above VPP. You have VPP and Bait in the 2 relegation spots. It's very difficult for them to get back into the the normal mid-range because they only have, I think, 1 match each.
After this, yeah, teams are really coming down to the last
Yeah, so
match.
VDP has one more against Gambit 2, Electric Boogaloo, and then Bait has to beat Windstrike. Okay, so Bait's definitely getting relegated, but VDP still has a chance. If Hustlers lose their match as well, they might still be able to do so. Hustlers' last match is against Hellraisers, which is a tough opponent, so VDP was really looking for these points, but they're not relegated just yet. Bait, I am very sorry. I don't know how you're getting out of this one.
It's looking real difficult for them. They did finally win their first series yesterday in Snow Sweet Snow. I was casting that game. They beat Team Ivy, who has one of their most notable players is going to be the Bloody Sky. If you watch Upper Division NA, he's one of the European Raiders, and yeah, he's on A-Team, yeah, over there.
A-Team, which is a team primarily made of people that are not from...
Yeah, that's why they're the A-Team, right? That's the joke anyway, I suppose. But that's going to be our day for today, as we had a 2-0 to start us off, and then a great 3-game series between IPG and VPP. Third game, a bit of a stomp, and I would say thanks to Supernova, right? MVP there for sure of this third game.
Yeah, I think Supernova played an awesome game. In general, though, I think all 3 games were pretty solid by him. I don't think he made too many mistakes in general. His Titanner was also really solid before, right? Supernova just showcases what a consistent offlaner should be like. And, dude, I hate your name. I wish you would change it, but honestly, you're an awesome player. He reminds me a bit of when I first saw Dark, actually, in Keen Gaming in his style of play. If you guys follow Chinese Dota at all, Dark particularly known for... I mean, King Gaming was the first team he started to come up with, but he's been in a lot of like stronger iterations ever since then. He was a captain and also an insane underlord player. Reminds me of Lelis as well. These are these offlaners that don't need a lot of farm to operate. They're not very greedy offlaners, and they will do a lot for the team. But if you give them even a small amount of space, they'll make sure to squeeze that space and do a lot with it, which is a style of offlaning I like a lot. Because you have to be adaptable for bad games, but also if you get a good game, you need to be able to take advantage of it. So
yeah, definitely. And Underlord's a good hero to do that. He's so annoying that you can. He's a very versatile platform with a lot of control.
Yes.
Which usually I will say, especially in the lower division and sometimes even the upper division, that's where teams can kind of outdraft themselves, right? Where they, oh, well, it's great that you have so much damage, but you have Fury in position 5. Where's your control? Underlord makes up for that perfectly, and it's a great pick and a great game from IPG, who will take the 2-1 victory over VPP. Now, we've got some matches tomorrow. Let's go ahead and hype up ourselves, right?
Oh, okay, sure.
Oh, you don't. Okay, the match tomorrow, I guess I'll do it. It's not like I'm driving, but the match tomorrow is going to be a great one, guys. It's going to be between our first and second position here in the group. Windstrike undefeated 5-0. They did lose their match, however, yesterday in Snow Sweet Snow to PuckChamp, who currently hold the second place with a 4-1 record.
Very exciting.
Will it be 5-1 for both teams? Who knows? It was a pretty easy 2-0 stomp for PuckChamp. I think Windstrike, they're going to be looking to possibly, maybe return the favor here where it really counts in the DPC and secure their upper division promotion.
If you're looking for this match, of course you can just follow the channel. That's the easiest way. I'm not streaming, and this is my personal channel, of course, but I'm not streaming for anything else. Usually I do my Spanish streams, everything, but now I'm only doing that on my own platform. So at least for the duration of the DPC League, if you follow us, it's going to be only these streams for the English broadcast, the official English broadcast of the lower division of Eastern European League. And if you want to follow us tomorrow, if you don't want to follow us, it's fine. You can just do it at, come here at 12 CST, 11 if you're in the UK, 1 p.m. if you are in Russia, or 7 p.m. if you are in Malaysia like ourselves. This is not 1 p.m. by the way, that's 1 a.m. studio time. Yep.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for more CIS Dota and you just can't wait, you just got to get your fix of CIS Dota, don't worry. The main division, the upper division is starting soon in the main ESL channel. That's ESL_Dota 2. You can go there, or we can just raid you, because we'll raid you as soon as this ends.
Of course.
And it's going to be a game between Extremum and Empire. So if you're going to watch... If you want to watch more CIS Dota, I do recommend this game. It has God in it. I love that player, so,
Yeah, I mean, that guy's been playing Dota for so long, and he's so influential. There's a player called Young G, right?
Yeah, literally, yeah. Just as a reference to old God.
Yep.
And his name went from a really long name, which was God is Dead, to just God to G now. So imagine, it's true that as you get older, it shrinks.
I can't wait for Young G to go to YG. That's going to be great.
And then just Y.
And then just Y. And then just nothing. That's going to be the best name
a bunch
for us
of blank
to cast.
spaces.
That is going to do it for our coverage here for the lower division. We won't delay much further because upper division is going to be starting here relatively quickly, guys. You can stay tuned on the channel for us to raid you over, or you can just go ahead and over yourself, twitch.tv/ESL_Dota2. For now, that's going to conclude our coverage for the day. If you like the cast, you can follow us here on the channel or on our personal Twitters at SeekinStrikeDota for myself or at Mr. Avo Plus for Avo Plus.
!cast.
But that's going to do it. Anything else I'm missing?
No, that's it.
All
Thank
right.
you guys for watching. It was a pleasure casting for you guys. Enjoy some upper division or just enjoy some rest. See you guys tomorrow.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar